Hello, my BMX nerd friends, and welcome back to another episode of Kanode Knows. And this week on the show, we got Francis Castro. He is a BMX videographer, BMX rider, one of the original members of Common Crew. He started USL, the BMX contest from a couple years back that blew up. It was so rad. And he's done a bunch. He's done more in BMX than I think you know. So it's good to kind of hear his story from the beginning and get behind the scenes on everything that he's accomplished and done, and just a good conversation. I enjoyed talking. So Francis, thanks for coming on. Hope you guys all enjoy the episode. Before we get into it, go to rawlife.com and use promo code Kanode to get yourself some green superfoods. Fix your energy, your digestion, your immunity, and your general health, and make your life better. I think that you have better sex when you're on raw superfoods. You need that. No, you don't. You don't. No, you don't. You don't even have sex. I appreciate all the feedback on the last episode with Black Man. That was pretty fun. What a crazy guy. What a crazy guy. And with all that being said, I think that covers it all. Like, subscribe, share the show with a friend. Here's Francis Castro. Hi, Francis Castro.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm fantastic. I just got out of my pool, and I'm shivering. I didn't have time to go to my cold plunge facility, so I just went to my other cold plunge facility. 2 minutes in that motherfucker, man. I'm fucking buzzing. It's like a little dopamine high. What are you on? How you doing?
For it all the time. I feel like shit today. I got off a plane a few hours ago. Sleeping schedule's messed up. The last 3 weeks was not able to really work, and that kind of eats away at me. But we're getting back at it. So probably the opposite of a cold plunge fan. But we're good.
Yeah. Well, you're here. That's all that matters. What was in California?
Family. The person that birthed me. My brother. Everybody, just out there hanging out. And then I think I'm very bad at booking dates. So after the holidays, I'm like, yeah, we'll go stay 2 more weeks. That makes sense. And you don't realize how long that actually is till you're there,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just that. And also biking a little bit, rode with my brother and then Ed and all them. So it was fun, man.
Yeah, I saw. Oh yeah, we got beef. I forgot about that until just now, dude. You ABD'd me.
It was funny because Ed was trying that clip too. We were trying in a train. I did it in front of him as we were both on the ledge. Then I thought I was super dope, like fuck you. And then you were fucking me. So
That's what
yeah,
we do. When you suck, you have to like find the creative kind of cool thing and people easy. Take people
yeah,
easy.
exactly right.
I'm not saying
No,
you suck, but I suck.
no, I mean I suck, but I've been having so much fun on my bike recently.
Hell
Just
yeah.
not have anything to do with income or work or whatever. And just looking at it as like I'm sure you could probably relate at this point, like just a good workout. Whereas before I'd be kind of frustrated if shit took a long time, and now I'm kind of grateful for it. I'm like, damn, this is an
It's good
experience.
cardio, baby.
For my fucking lungs, scraping and all this stuff. So it's I like it. It's so therapeutic.
Yeah, I love that. I was wondering, do your parents have a room for you? Like, did they keep your childhood room intact?
No, my mom remarried and then two step siblings came. It was like a cheaper by the dozen thing or whatever, Brady
Nice.
Bunch, whatever the fucking one is. But she constructed a new room in her house. So she has like a guest room. My old room is there's not a single fragment of it left, but she had her little spot for me and my wife. So it was cool.
How old were you when you like moved out of your parents' house?
Uh, Too old, like 21 or something like that.
If that's too old,
Um,
then I really pushed it. I stayed until I was like 24. I actually no, I'm lying. I went back and forth a couple times. Moving
yeah,
back into your parents' house is easily the worst feeling. Have you ever done that?
no, I've had nightmares about it. But
Just sorry, mom and dad. Can I come back?
yeah, no, dude, the first I was talking with my brother because he's about to kind of move out, and I remember when I first moved out, I'd forget to buy shit that I knew I needed just so I could had a reason to keep coming back. Like I didn't buy shower curtains for the first like 2 weeks or something. I was like, oh, I gotta. It's weird. It's hard, man. And I was laying in bed like, all right, my rent's $1,600, and then I multiply that by 12, and then by 40 years, I'll be dead in 40 or whatever. I'm like, damn, I need to make fucking 700 grand or else I'll be homeless. It was just the worst feeling when I first moved out. But still now, obviously, I'm like 20, 27 now, so it's all good.
Nice. And you're in Florida. What was that move about?
Um, I mean, there's the obvious ones that will trigger people or whatever, but I mean, California, it just sucks a dick, man. Honestly, it's not. what it used to be. It's just you're paying more for less. Florida's just like safer, it's cheaper, it's more laid back. Plus, I'm married now, we want to have kids and stuff, and just raising a family in a two-bedroom apartment in Garden Grove, paying 3 grand a month for it doesn't sound very nice at all. Versus here, we're gonna buy a house this year with a yard and do the whole I left California thing. It's like life on easy mode when you go anywhere else. So,
For real.
yeah, just safety and money, man. It's obvious, right? And I like the culture here better too.
That's dope. How long's it been?
Dude, it's been over 2 years now, which is insane. We drove over 2021 in November. So yeah, it's a little over 2 years now. And it feels like home. Like even just going back to California just now, like this is our home now, which is pretty crazy to be able to, feel that way after living there my whole life.
Yeah, that's huge. Because like going, I mean, do you have family out in Florida or anything? Or know
No.
anybody out there? You just like, because that's huge. If you just like pick a spot and you're like, all right, babe, we're going here. It's starting
Yeah,
your
I mean,
life. Like
I
that's
knew Ronnie
huge.
Bonner. I know Ronnie Bonner. That's it, man. That was my guy. Is my guy. But what we did is we just took we got engaged and then we just flew to Florida and just did like random Airbnbs for a month straight. Like, oh, let's go to this corner, and pretty much covered most of the map. Besides like Miami and stuff, because that's just not our vibe. And just settled on the town we live in now, which is Lake Mary, small town, 16,000 people, but it has everything you need. Uh, 20 minutes north of fucking Disneyland, 20 minutes south of gator hunting in a swamp. So
So you're
it's
you're like 20 minutes away from where I lived when I lived out there to work for Sabroso. That's cool.
if you lived in Longwood, yeah, it's the next city over.
Yeah, I lived in Orlando technically, I think, but it's all kind of just flat and man, I was broke and miserable, dude. Like I had sold my car to get out there, so I was like riding my bike 4 miles to take the train, pay $10 to get to the office to edit videos, which I could have done from Arizona. Like I just didn't
Yeah.
didn't work. I came there in the summer and I lasted just the summer. Like I think I lasted 6 months. It
It's
was
hard,
bad.
man. We've
Yeah.
had our mental breakdown. Even like when Thanksgiving comes around, it's like, oh fuck, we're so isolated. Like, but once you get pushed through that,
Yeah.
um, it's different. I mean, like California has so much industry, right? So I was working on this project where I had to melt down all this metal, and there was not a single person in the state that even offered this service. It's called like foundry work. There's like two people in the whole state that offered it.
Damn.
I had to go to California to do it. I did it in Downey, California. And just in Downey, there was like 6 or 7 people offering. So just the idea of scale obviously comes with population and stuff, right? There's just so much more you can technically do in California. It's just harder to accomplish it.
Yeah. And how often are you going to need a person to melt down metal? You can figure that shit out.
Not for a hot minute. Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
And then, like, as an adult, traveling for the holidays is kind of cool in a sense. I don't know. I love it, dude. Good for you. Stoked. Um,
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
I guess it's a BMX podcast. We should talk about BMX, dude. So, like, how'd you get into BMX, man?
Um, I almost got into fixed gears when that trend was going on, and then I didn't. I kind of met Jamie Jr., which is kind of one of Sauce's older friends. Um, and that was just kind of the thing to do. Before that, I was like animating a lot, doing a lot of like stick figure animations for websites and stuff, and I just wanted to start being outside more. I was kind of getting burnt on that, and BMX was a good way to do it. I had a skateboard, all that stuff, but BMX was just it was just it. It was just easier to get around. I noticed, and that was like a big point for me. And then just kind of had a buddy Evan, and me and him grew up riding together. And that was kind of my group before Common Crew. And we're riding in front of my house one day, and then this one guy comes by. And do you remember that old show, Built to Shred?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, "Hey, I was on this episode of Built to Shred. I have all this leftover stuff in my fucking garage, like down the street. Do you want it?" So literally, not even overnight, over an hour, I had a backyard skate park that just fell from the fucking heavens. And then
That's cool.
yeah, yeah. And then it kind of just became like my house was kind of a cool spot to hang out, right? And that's kind of how Common Crew started. And then I quickly realized, I'm not trying to send it. I have a lot of mental blocks when I'm doing tricks and stuff like that. Like that's not really I'm pretty quick at identifying what I'm good and bad at. And I had this like animation background with all these motion graphics that you've probably seen in some of the Common Crew videos and all this editing stuff. So I said, hey, I want to do this. Finance my first camera and then kind of went from there.
Fuck yeah. Um,
So,
one question I had, just picturing you as a kid riding in front of your house, what was like the first trick you learned? What was the first trick you wanted to learn?
Yeah, I kind of fucked myself on this because everybody was kind of learning 180s. It's like the standard.
Yeah.
And I decided to dedicate the first like 6 months of my life to a foot jam whip. Which has like zero application, especially because we had no skate parks around us and
Yeah.
growing up riding street. So yeah, I learned a foot jam whip, landed two or three. But then what really sucked is that I foot jammed the wrong way with my back foot. So it's just the hardest way to do the foot jam whip. So I couldn't even hop into it. So it was just the lamest foot jam whip that I can land once in a blue moon. Everybody else was doing 180s. So by the time I learned 180s, they were on the three pivots and all that stuff. So it
Yeah, but
was,
foot jam whips just look so cool, dude. I remember because like my buddy Cleon, his one of his first tricks was the foot jam whip, and I watched him try over and over and over again, and I was like, I'm gonna stick to 180s, and then it kind of like the same exact story. That's funny. But the
yeah.
foot jam
I
whip
mean,
was for the ladies, dude. You kick that bike around, it's like, woo, that's cool. That's a good
yeah.
choice.
I mean, it was like the roll up ones because it was
Yeah,
so back foot, It was like I just keep thinking like the fucking the Facebook couple kissing, what I'm talking
yeah,
about? It was
endos,
like
dude. Yeah.
that vibe just really really slow. So yeah, but it was cool. But again, that just helped solidify me as like I probably shouldn't be the one doing tricks type thing.
Yeah. You knew you were the filmer early on. Or maybe
Yeah,
not even filmer because like you were doing editing. I guess it goes hand in hand, whatever. Um,
yeah.
what was like something, what was out? What year is this? Like what influenced you? Did you have, were they bringing over DVDs or VHSs
Uh,
were out the window at this point, I think, right?
yeah, I mean, I don't really have any knowledge of BMX before the cult fit falling out. That's kind of where I came into it.
Okay.
Um, what influenced me? I'm trying to think,
So
man. I mean,
2010 is when you were
yeah,
starting?
2010,
Yeah.
yeah, 2010, 2011. I was probably in seventh. No, I was probably a freshman at that point. It was weird. I bought a premium complete, or my dad bought it for me in seventh grade. It got stolen. Went a whole year without riding, and then my birthday next year, I just got the same exact bike from the same exact bike shop. And it kind of just reset, and for that year in between, I just didn't touch it. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think where it came from. I do know that I saw a Dakota Roche video part for Fit where he's riding my old middle school and he does he hops over this bench up this three-stair when it is this rail or hops it or whatever. And that was my history class. It was like one of those portable buildings.
Yeah.
But he did that at my history class. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like I go up these stairs every day and he's doing like this. So it kind of made me look at the world so cliche, but look at the world differently, man. So I was just looking at shit like I can jump on this and this and that. And I remember laying in bed just like thinking like this is after the foot jam whips, like, damn, it's gonna be so cool to be able to just pedal around one day and just 180 off of stuff, like just unlock. Like I remember just really thinking about that. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that DAC clip really got me into like just seeing it, for what it could be.
Yeah, dude, I love that because, like, I think I have that same exact thought. I remember that just daydreaming about 180ing off of stuff is huge. Man, even before that, just like dropping off of stuff was like so cool, you know? And just that shift of looking at the
Yeah.
world as through spots is almost like a virus that we all have. It's pretty dope. I
I
like that.
mean, one of the highest, I guess, ecstasy moments of my life that I'll never forget. It was me and my buddy Evan again. We're kind of riding around, the local elementary, local middle school, and we have this local community college called Golden West College. And I remember just driving past it with my dad. I haven't even looked inside, but my head was like, damn, like what could be in there? Like who knows what's in there? I felt like I was like Christopher Columbus or something, you know what I mean? It was just incredible. And I haven't really had that feeling of like wanderlust or whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah.
and it hardly ever comes around. So that was just a really like turning point where it's like, damn, I fucking love this. And from that point on, it was like begging my dad, even before Common Crew, just to drop me and Evan off at fucking like Crenshaw, which is a terrible neighborhood in California, very dangerous. Or Santa Monica, or just like, let's just drop me off, Dad. I just want to pedal around. And it's just like, it was
He's like,
so
what
cool,
the hell
dude.
is my son up to?
My dad was up to way worse shit when he was my age. So he's probably just happy that, okay, they're only doing this,
Yeah,
you know?
at least he's outside. He's tired. I'm tired of watching him play with those stick figures in his bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he's always supported me, but it was cool. It was cool, man. I love talking about it,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the best
pure,
feeling.
dude. I think back on those like pure moments of like being a teenager and just like not you have no concept of like making money or the world or anything. You're just like BMX and thinking about the world in spots and looking out the
Yeah.
window. Dude, I because like I started with like mountain biking boner. Like I got my parents got me a DVD called Rome when I was super young or impressionable age, whatever, 15, 16. And then we'd go on a road trip and I'd just be looking at the mountains like you could drop from there to there. Just like I thought
Oh,
mountain biking was
damn.
the shit. And that's how it started. And then it shifted to the urban world once I got introduced to BMX and watched like Voices and Animal Can I Eat, I think was the one that was out when I got started. But yeah, man, that's crazy. So you're learning how to bike in 2010. Common Crew starts at your house. I'm curious, how did the Common Crew name start?
I think Ethan came up with the name, Ethan or Julian, because I didn't like start it, you know. I pretty much took over towards the end, but I did not start it. It was like they had like a name for it, and it was like they had ironed on some shirts maybe a year before meeting me, and it kind of just sat there. And then I remember Julian was asking me like, oh, if I could edit videos, you know, because he kind of wanted to start doing it again. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, like all day, bro. Like I had never edited a BMX video before, but that was just like
Of course
I
I
want to be
can. Yeah.
yeah. And I remember, man, like um my dad told me like because it was like $1,000 to go to Woodward for a week at the time, or like for the iMac that I used up until literally last year. And I said, oh, I think I'm gonna go with the Mac, you know, even though I really want to go to Woodward. And that decision just changed
It's a
everything, you know what I mean?
good
So I started
decision.
yeah, I started editing the videos and I mean, we were putting out so much content even back then when that wasn't really the standard, you know, and I think we did a good job of hyping stuff up before it was kind of more formulaic how it is now, you know?
Yeah.
Like always dropping promos for Monster Mash and stuff like that. I was just obsessed with editing and getting better at it, honestly.
Hell yeah. And you just jumped right into it. So then tell me about the origins of Common Crew. If even if you weren't involved, like you mentioned that it kind of like formed at your house though. Like what tell me, what the fuck? How does Common Crew start? And who's
Yeah,
there?
yeah, I think well, it was like kind of weird, right? So Ethan and Julian they went to their own high school, and like I think again, this is rough history, but I'm pretty sure they just ironed on some shirts, you know, set it, forget it, you know, didn't work out. And then Sauce, on the other hand, went to my middle school, and he was already kind of filming videos, and they were doing their own thing. So those two worlds really hadn't merged, until I mean, they were kind of filming web edits, and you know,
So it's
things would
Ethan and Julian at this school over here, and then you and
Sauce.
Sauce at the other one. Who
Well, not
where's
even, I wasn't
everybody
even
else?
friends. I wasn't even friends with Sauce. Sauce had like Jacob and everybody else, and I was just in my world with my buddy Evan. Um, and I feel like Sauce started filming edits of Julian and Ethan, right, under his channel name. But I feel like my backyard was when everybody really came together, especially me joining the group, and it was like, let's put things out with intention, you know, like let's build something. Not even sure what it is. You know, at one point I was talking to people with like CNC machines to make cranks and stems and stuff like that. And I would like fucking Facebook message Robbo every night on and ask about like manufacturing or
That's
stuff. I
awesome.
don't yeah, I mean, dude, me and the Robbo DM, they go, it was like in hindsight, it's like, why are you talking to me? That's so cool. But like, you know what I mean? Because it
Just
was consistent. It was like every night I talked to that dude.
that
But
youthful enthusiasm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I do think that the backyard was kind of like, okay, like this is cool. Like there's a place, and then from that point forward, like it became the place to meet. You know, people would hang out at my house, in front of my house, even when I wasn't there sometimes. You know what I mean? It just became like the mecca
The
of
hub.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
dope.
Like, countless video premieres at my house, all the homies and stuff too. It was just good times.
Did I come out for a video premiere at that house? Is it like a
No, no.
ranch style
When I
house?
say that, I mean more like, oh, a video came out. Let's all watch it on the
Okay, I
couch.
got you. Yeah.
Let's go
What
over
was
our monster timelines.
what was Sauce's OG YouTube channel called?
I think Moto Kids. Oh, if I don't get this, he's gonna fucking hate me, dude. Moto Kids 172, I want to say. Should I be looking this up too?
I don't know. Let's see. Man, if I want to find some old ass videos of Julian and Ethan, that sounds awesome.
It is Moto Kids 172. Yeah, you can look up like I think Julian's master plan is his edit. He's probably gonna fucking be so pissed. Um,
Moto Kids
172, no
172.
space. Cult logo is
Oh, look at that. Let's go. Holy shit,
Yes.
14 years ago. Look at these kids, dude.
Yeah, I'm not even in any of these videos.
Yeah.
I was, you know,
They filmed an
but
eating session, an average day at Saucy's house.
yeah,
Oh
he
my,
doesn't live
look at these
anymore. Ethan
children,
had,
dude. Sauce is just wolfing Jesus.
yeah, but pretty much
That's
that last
gold.
video, the last video on the quick session is pretty much like the last thing on there. Then from that point forward, started fresh with a common crew.
Common. I love it, man. That's fucking amazing to see.
Yeah.
Julian Ortega in there. The next thing that pops in my mind with you in particular is the sponsor me email that got sent to Shure for Julian. I think it was you who sent it, and you just typed up a very professional, like, here's the reasons why Julian should be sponsored, blah blah blah. And I remember being in Shure's house going over that email, and we were, I forget the reaction, honestly. I want to say
Yeah.
like it was like I think we were being cool and just like, oh yeah, whatever. But also, I'll never forget it. So it was memorable. I love that about you as a youth, just like reaching out to Robbo, reaching out to just being fearless and talking to people is
Yeah, I mean, I reach out to people all the time just
a
because
sign of success.
it was a win-win because them getting hooked up meant I had consistent work. They got free bike parts, trips out of it. I mean, we all got trips out of it. So it was a win-win. And I'm definitely the kind of person to, at least I try to be, like, push others, you know what I mean? To do more or, get people stoked. That was definitely like the motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was dope. I remember I told Julian, like, we're gonna fucking get you on eClaw and we're gonna make a New York trip. And he's like, I'm not even on eClaw yet, and they don't have an AM travel budget. And I'm like, what's gonna fucking happen? And it did. I somehow convinced Paul Robinson to do that. And then I
Fuck
got
yeah.
I sent Moeller this fucking resume of Ethan, and then I remember Moeller saying like, fuck yeah, what shirt sizes you come by now? And I picked up Ethan from Vans HB, and I'm like, dude, guess what? You're fucking on fit or whatever.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a win-win, because like I had all these videos to film now, and then it was just so cool, man. It was a good time for sure. And fucking why not, man? Why would a brand want to do the heavy lifting and find these riders on their own? You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's bomb. And just it was a big deal, like the common crew coming of age and all the dudes getting hooked up by various sponsors was, a huge part of BMX history, which is pretty dope. Because I still
yeah,
remember when you guys were just little shits, dude, little shits on the come up, and Sauce became a poster for them. And I forget like my first taste of the common crew, but it was just probably some unreal shit that Jacob Cable did. Just like, what the fuck,
dude, we
like,
were all so. I mean, I feel like honestly, most crews, it's like you have that standout guy who goes pro,
yeah,
and everybody else is good, but maybe they don't get recognition. But like we all made it a point, like everybody in Monster Mash like went pro. Everybody who was in my room looking over timelines went pro. It's pretty damn awesome, and I feel like unique to very select few friend groups. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm proud of everything we were able to do and stuff. It was pretty dope. It really clicked for me because one time I wanted to sell this video to Vital, I think it was. Don't quote me on this, but I remember it was Carlson, whoever I was negotiating with to sell this like box video at this Odyssey Jam or something. They said, okay, just make sure like you take a few of your boys so we can like use them in the title or something like that. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like my boys are fucking like headlining. Like I got to make sure my friends are there so the video gets more views from how they were looking at it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That was just like, damn, that's crazy. That was pretty cool.
Mama, we made it. Was there ever a moment of like almost disappointment when you realized that there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
I think there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, man. I think there definitely can be. But I think the biggest disappointment was I just didn't really see it the same way other people saw it. I saw it kind of evolving past this edits and more into like vlogging and stuff like that before a lot of these people that are vlogging now are doing it. And a lot of people just didn't see eye to eye, more like core mentality, which is fine. And I kind of dropped the ball where I should have had communication skills and communicated more of a vision, not just been like, oh, well, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was kind of the only sad part of it.
Well,
But
go more into that. What do you mean? Like you're saying to the boys like, all right, you got to start vlogging, and they're like,
not
fuck
even
you.
that. It was just kind of like I started vlogging type of thing, right? Under the Common Crew name, because at the end of the day, like I was running it, I was making the events, making the designs for the shirts, running the email blast, all this stuff. Like I was doing it,
Mm-hmm.
just not the writing part, which is just as important. And I kind of saw this trajectory where it's like every time we post a vlog, we get from 70 to 200 subscribers, right? We go to skate parks now and people are yelling phrases at me that I've never met before. And I'm just saying, like, damn, this is crazy because it's building a fan base, which we can turn into an income stream, while also working on the shit we want to work on. Like, my whole thing was always like, vlog the process of making the edit. So we're already out here doing this shit, right? Just vlog the process and bring people along for the journey, which now is like no brainer. That's what everybody does, type of thing. But that was kind of how I saw it, and it was just very blue ocean back then. So maybe people didn't agree, and I was kind of just like, well, fuck you, you don't get it. Whereas I should have been like, sit down, maybe whatever. I never put a camera in someone's face who didn't want to be on camera. But at a certain point, I was kind of avoiding filming with people that didn't want to go in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But when I should have just been like, hey, like, this is like,
Let me explain. Yeah.
yeah. But again, I was young,
Yeah.
but it was cool though. I mean, I wrote it as hard as I could for the time, so it was cool.
It's interesting to think back and think of it being that blue ocean that it was. And for, I guess people probably might not know what blue ocean is. It's like a business term, but blue ocean versus red ocean, that's the other one. Where it's just
Yeah.
like
So
in
Red
business, if
Ocean,
something is super saturated, it's red ocean. And if there's not that many people doing it, it's blue ocean. So you want to go into the blue ocean. Now it's a vlogging and going for attention in this world is like red ocean times 1,000. But I'm curious because like it was a blue ocean because of people's reaction to it. They didn't want to do it. It's cringe, blah blah blah. Like I'm core, but now that's kind of fizzled away, and it makes me think: what is the next thing that? What are people cringing at now that we're gonna look back at and be like, oh, that we should have been on that? Is there something?
yeah, I would say short form content that goes beyond just posting a clip, you know? Like I think for example, let's say a Brock Rayford, right? Super pro. He can post a crook hard bar or something insane and it will reach core people, right? It will get the 10,000 likes.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like to really get to that next level, what Brock should be doing, maybe I'm not saying Brock should be doing do whatever you want, but just using him as an example. If you were to go to a skate park with $100 in cash and say, give you $1 for every bar spin you land, and you go up to 4 kids and just see boom, boom, how much money they rack up, that has so much more virality potential where it can reach people outside of that core group. And in my opinion, help BMX in a lot of ways more than a Crook hard bar could, right? So I think if people were to lean into that, and Anthony Panza kind of does this type of shit a little bit, and he's
Yeah,
probably, in my opinion, like if I had to sponsor anybody, it'd be Anthony. So I feel like if people went into that direction more, it would blow shit up and help their careers. But again, that's like ooh, that sounds cringe, or like, oh, you're
exactly.
you're posting a steezy hotbar to a beat drop or a TikTok sound. It's something new is always cringe, and by the time people adapt it, it's too late. You know what I mean? So
That's interesting. I like where your head's at. That's a good idea. So if you're listening, go bring $100 to the skate park. That's
yeah,
money. That's like Mr. Beast's type of content, but within our BMX world. That's dope. What I
I mean,
thought when
like
you
I
said
said,
that
go ahead.
was I thought, and you brought up the Brock example of crook hard on a bar or whatever, but I thought it like instead of just posting the clip of landing it, I like the clips where it's like telling a story, talking to the camera, like this is so I had to find the spot, and then a quick montage of like, so then I found the perfect spot, and then I tried, and then blah blah, struggle, and at the end the big payoff, like much more of a arc to it and a story, because story is
Yeah,
what gets shared to the masses. Even if you don't know what BMX is, you can follow along with this, start and then struggle and then succeed, and that's like the basic storyline. But
yeah.
yeah,
Everybody wants to see a victory arc, no matter how small it is. And for my job now with like doing marketing and stuff, it's like you're always constantly looking out for trends, and they change every few months. So, you got an industry that mostly doesn't want to adapt to stuff. It's going to be hard to grow, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there's not room for the core stuff, but I just think you gotta have both, because I mean, less and less core kids exist every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you got to bring him in with the new shit, because at one point, Anthony Panza will be core to whoever started writing last year. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So it's just, yeah, got to look at it that way.
It's wild how that shit works, man. Time goes, things change.
Yeah.
um, I mean, you just mentioned you work in marketing. What are you up to, Francis?
Just sell stuff online. You talking to your phone about a problem you have or a product you're looking for, it pops up on your phone, and then you're like, are they listening to me? And then it's like, yeah. And then yeah.
Is
Process
that
out.
true? The phone is actively listening?
Um,
Do you know?
if okay, so it's not, I can't target Bobby Kanode in Arizona looking for LaCroix. I can't look that up, but Facebook does leverage kind of your geolocation, like where do you shop, what kind of people are around you, like if Ballman, whoever you hang out with, is always talking about LaCroix, you're probably gonna get targeted with it, like if he's typing in LaCroix in his DMs or on WhatsApp or on Google, like it's like a reverse SEO type thing where you're typing it and then we show it to you later. Does that make sense? Like all these platforms are free because they're monitoring what you're typing and then they just feed it back to you. Um,
Sheesh.
does that make sense? I'm trying
Yeah.
to. Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't answer the audio part. Like so it must be a coincidence. Or
No,
is
I
the
think it
microphone
listens to
on?
you. I think it listens to you. And not only does it listen to you, it also, I mean, there's studies like where it will scan your face. So if you want to get nitty gritty with it, I'll give you a quick example. Like if you have one kind of demographic in your ad, it will most likely serve it to people that look like that person, because we just buy from people that look like us. It's just human nature. Whereas if you have an ad that has a multiple of races or genders or whatever, that ad on Facebook will reach a wider audience because it knows who's looking at it based on your profile photo, based on facial recognition, based on all these other things where it's like, hey, this person looks like Bobby, serve it to all the Bobby looking people out there
God
type thing.
damn.
So there's so many data
Yeah,
points.
dude.
Like it knows how long you're staring at an ad, it knows how fast you're swiping. It's it's insane. And the craziest part is that like targeting people is getting easier and easier and easier every year, even though they're coming out with all these data privacy, it's all fugazi. It gets
That's
easier every
I
year.
have that feeling of just like, yeah, we take your privacy seriously, and it's like behind closed doors. No, we don't. We got all the data and
Yeah,
sheesh.
your Apple phone was probably manufactured by a child labor. They don't care to not know where you do your grocery shopping. You know what I mean? Like they don't give
Yeah,
a fuck about your
exactly.
privacy. Yeah.
They're virtue signaling about being progressive or whatever in this sense, and then they have a literal slave factory making the product. There's no morals. What was the
Yeah.
thing that you learned that you were like, what the fuck? Like, has there been a thing like that in your dive into this world?
Into marketing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think just how much you can leverage like Facebook's like and Instagram's like machine learning. Whereas before, like everything would be very manual. Like, oh, let me make this ad and I'll spend 20 bucks on this ad and say you'll test 20 ads, right? So you're spending 400 bucks and you'll like manually try to test which one's the best. Whereas if you just give them all to Facebook and have Facebook decide what to spend money on, it will literally figure it out and will always outperform your human hypothesis, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. So, because it's like they have so many data points of just how advanced it is and how little of not work, but how little of hypothesizing you actually have to do because the machine is so smart is fucking crazy. But that's some nerd shit, man. I don't know. We just lost like half your viewership, I feel like.
Fuck my viewers, dude. I'm interested. This shit is cool.
Okay.
There was this event that just happened, CNES or something.
Mhm.
CNES conference, and I was scrolling through it on Twitter, and I just looked at like the highlights, these 10 things that just came out, and like the next wave is like these little fucking AI assistants that like looks like a little ball and rolls around your house and will like has a camera on both sides and can do things for you, like feed your dog if you have a smart dog feeder type of thing, and just
Yeah.
the
I just
future
got
looks
these. I
spooky, dude.
just got these. These are
Oh, nice, the new ones.
the fucking, yeah, the metal ones.
Yeah, sick.
Hey, bro.
That's
Fucking
fire.
yeah, and these things are amazing. Like I full on had like a Bible study with these things, like just driving somewhere, just asking it questions about scripture for like half an hour straight, like a back and forth conversation.
With your
Um,
fucking sunglasses.
yeah, it's insane.
That's
It's
does
great.
they do they does they do they have like because I've seen them where it's like transparent but also sunglass style, or they're different? Do they have glasses and then
Yeah,
sunglasses?
there's some that change if you're in, like it can identify if you're in outside or outdoor lighting, um, inside or outdoor lighting. But these are just kind of the cameras built in, and the I don't want to say Chat GPT because it's better than Chat GPT, like built in,
That's
but
wild.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like that assistant you're talking about, just on your face. It can't feed my dog yet, but there's a bunch of ways to do that too already.
Yeah. Man, it's like it's kind of spooky to think about the AI that we know and we're aware of is just like the tip of like what's already there. So it's just a matter of,
Yeah, I
wait a
embrace
little
it. I
bit
think it's
longer.
I think it's going to be awesome. I think people are either going to like if you know how to use it, it's either going to be you'll be able to 20x your output or have no output at all. You'll be replaced. So I think it's really fascinating. And I think there's other stuff that will never really be replaced. I think art won't be replaced. Like I know AI images are crazy, but you can't replace like sentimental imagery. You know what I mean? Like what someone felt or whatever. Like my wife, she painted this little cherub back here for
Yeah.
our place. And like just knowing the story, knowing that she made it for us and all this stuff, like it doesn't matter how AI can make it look, if it's better, worse, different, like it'll never replace what I think art is
Yeah.
supposed to do, which is transcend emotion and transfer emotion and stuff. So
Big facts.
yeah,
Yeah, the future is exciting and kind of
fucking
a
love it, dude.
little bit spooky or exciting or both, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember the rest of that list. One of them was like this transparent, looks like a piece of glass, but it's a full blown LED, and that's pretty dope. Like the application of that to where I don't know, phones could be see through. Maybe not, but
Yeah.
like your I don't know, your full car screen instead of the Tesla having an iPad in the center, it could just be a full blown windshield of LED.
Yeah.
Whatever. Um, well, you sell stuff online. You want to elaborate a little bit?
Uh just I don't know.
Like
It's
what's
just
on your resume right now? What
what do you mean?
I don't know. If you were going for a job and you like my latest job was sell stuff online.
Uh I guess build brands through systems, not needing consistent like shout outs or influencer collaborations. I kind of just build funnels that gets people into your website for $1, makes them spend $2 or more, and scale on that. That's pretty much it. Like build systems for online companies, I guess you could say.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how deep we want to get into that, just because it's like I
No,
don't
you're
know.
fine. You're
I don't want to
fine.
conduct your podcast, bro. I'm just saying I feel like no one's gonna give a fuck about that.
Conduct it. What should we talk about next?
I don't know, dude. Wait. Go back to the timeline. Let's go back to Brock Raper Pro Card Bar that doesn't exist or
Yeah.
something.
Who's let's see. Who are you watching? Who are you paying attention to right now in
Uh,
BMX?
yeah. Fuck. I know so many people. Brandon Softchin is pretty fucking good. I've known that kid for forever.
Who's
Um,
Brandon Softchin? Oh wait, yeah, in Texas. I remember
yeah,
commenting that's hard chin behavior.
yeah. He's like another Mark Burnett in my opinion. Like not as good, but kind of that same swagginess. So keep up with like most of the boys and stuff. Um, there's a bunch of kids like Cowboy Sam. They all have these fucking weird names now. But that kid on Eclaw, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I
Like,
know about Brandon Softchin, but not Cowboy
Sweet Boy
Sam.
Sam, Sweet Cowboy. Some these fucking kids, bro. Let me look this fucker up because I love his writing. Sweet Cowboy Sam. It was all of it together. He's on Eclaw and he's super steezy and just doing creative stuff. Just people like that, man. These those
Damn,
like
is Instagram working for you right now?
yeah.
My shit is bugging. Anyways,
Gotta pay your internet bill.
yeah, I guess so.
I knew him. He's good. And then oh my god, those fucking the Ukrainian kids. Olex V underscore Olex, and then that one with a crazy name with Ari something. He does like whip manuals like nobody's
Oh yeah,
business.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. He just had that pegs over whip manual to whatever into the bank. It's just Jesus Christ, that's so much.
yeah,
Dude.
he's like amazing. So I like the really OP writing where it's like fuck, no one could do that, but then also like just steezy, make a feeble heart look good
Yeah,
type of stuff. Um, yeah, man.
that makes me
Just
think of the kid who did the pegs whip over. Sean McCanney just had a post not too I mean, Sean McCanney has his own stuff going on right now, but I
yeah,
scrolled on his Instagram and saw he reposted him trying a pegs to whip to over pegs, I think. Pegs whip predator type
saw
of
that.
thing. So if somebody can get that whipping guy in Russia or Ukraine to Do that. That'll be fire. Can't mix up Russia and Ukraine right now. Um,
Yeah, I'm ignorant to it. I don't keep up with my
they're
sorry.
from over
But
there.
yeah,
From over
yeah.
yonder.
They talk gnarly. That's it. That's all. They talk gnarly, do gnarlier tricks. But no, yeah, I think that kid could probably do that, like, and not even talk about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's so fucking good. And I
Not
feel like
even
the
film it.
manual is almost harder. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Then there's that one dude who did the 360 bar spin crank flip. That was just like, what the fuck? I don't know where. There's a whole bunch of what the fucks going on. Nose mayo up the stairs, the like 8 stair nose mayo up. I'm sure you remember
Oh,
that.
that guy.
That shit went
Yeah,
viral.
yeah.
There's certain tricks where it's like, what the fuck? What? Um,
Well, I
hmm.
guess that bleeds over into more mainstream even. Like I think nose manualing up a staircase, in my opinion, would appeal to more people than like the crook hard bar or something.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? So
big time.
I mean, more people have just gone upstairs and have grinded a flat bar at a skate park.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't even appreciate just like a double peg or how hard it is to actually grind on a bike. Like at the barrier to entry to like get decent at riding is kind of nuts. You have to try so hard for so long and then nobody gives a fuck. Like
Well,
it's
dude,
just
yeah. I mean, now that I moved to Florida, I'm not filming BMX anymore. So I'm just riding a lot and I'm just learning all these tricks that I never really learned growing up because I was always filming. Um, and just it wasn't really my thing to do the tricks. But like I just landed my first few feeble hards like last month or whatever.
hell yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you, dude. And that was a trip that I was like, dude, fuck, like never, never. Like that it might as well have been like a bright flip or something for me.
Yep.
But it's just crazy how hard it is in the beginning. And then you go on Instagram and it's just the first thing you see is Dan Kruk, like, doing
Hmm.
something insane. And I'm just like I always knew it was crazy, but now it's like I had like this delayed frame of reference because I never tried step one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I have a whole new appreciation for it now more than ever.
Yeah, it feels like almost abstract. Like it's just like, oh yeah, Feeble Heart 3, obviously I know that's difficult, but it's not that hard. I mean, you can fucking do it. Especially when you're like filming the people you were filming. And like I got to film some of the best riders in the world to where I almost got like desensitized of like, yeah, of course, obviously you should do a feeble truck off of that. But then you go to actually do it or just do step one, Feeble Heart 180 on a flat ledge, and you're like, fuck, how are they doing this shit, dude?
Yeah, right. Oh, the ledge is too high. The ledge is too short. The ledge is too.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck? I just hung out with Matt Rain. He did like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep, big time.
I don't know, it's crazy. Yeah, but I've been having fun. I've been having mad fun, just like literally YouTube and shit, like how to feeble hard or whatever.
Nice.
And I just it's like this childlike joy.
I wonder what comes up. Who's the first YouTube person
Not to
for
keep cutting off Anthony, but I think
tutorials?
Anthony was the tutorial I saw, and he
How
said it
to
was like a
feeble
manual
heart.
180, and I did a manual 180 out of it, and it worked.
He is the first one up there. I love that. How to feeble heart
No,
180. Fast learn. Yeah, that's an interesting feeling trick. It's so inconsistent for me. It never really like clicked.
yeah, yeah, I was getting pretty good before I went to California, and like six in a row. I was like, damn, okay, like you know, but
When it feels good, it feels good. I want to know what do you? Well, let's go through the proud list. I want to start with writing and then get into filming and then editing. But what are you most proud of in your like writing life?
like a thing I did, like a
Yeah.
trick.
Yeah.
Um, there's this ledge behind like this coped ledge loading dock thing behind a 99-cent store where we lived, like half cabbed it. It was in Vital, like the one of like the articles in Vital or something. But the guy who
Nice.
filmed it just never sent me the clip. It was weird. Like filmed on the T2i, no AirDrop or iPhones or anything back then. I just never got the clip. But that was pretty cool. And then right before I stopped doing Common Crew, I had like half a part done. I posted on my Instagram where I just had fallen really more in love with like my style of writing, which didn't need to be barring an 8 stair or something. It was just like crank flips and bump jump and like jibby shit.
Yeah.
So it's that whole era I was like really proud of, just like, oh damn, this is cool. Like I'm writing like I've realized I can write a different way that's actually funner for me type
Yeah.
thing.
And if you're
So
stoked on it, that's all that matters, man. It's kind of
yeah,
how I
literally,
feel about my part in mediocre. I'm looking at my timeline and I'm just like, this is dog shit. But on the other hand, it's like I like it. I liked it when I did the tricks. So fuck it. It is what it is.
yeah, it's a time capsule.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like 3 minutes of watching yourself get a dopamine rush. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
whoa,
for
like
real.
oh, great, but for 3 minutes straight, you're reliving it. It's like, yeah, of course.
Especially with like the full lengths, dude. Like if you filmed it and you're editing it, like it is a crazy like almost like scrapbook type effect of every 2 seconds you're just like taken to that place and it's poof, 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 poof. This is the last
Yeah,
4 years of my life. This is fucking awesome.
it's
Speaking of
one of the
that, how
best.
long did Monster Mash take? Is that would
That
that be
took
the answer of what you're most proud of video wise?
that and the Murray Laubser video I did,
Yeah.
equally as proud of. But Monster Mash, yeah, that one took 5 years, um, which was amazing. You know, we essentially filmed the video like 4 times because we went through so many scrap clips and different cameras and all this stuff. But I mean, that was insane. That was like sold out theater. You know, people all around the world had fucking Dennis Anderson commenting saying it was awesome. Like it was just a whole new level of whoa, this is crazy. Nominated for a Nora Cup. It's pretty dope, man. Yeah, that
Fucking
was
incredible.
yeah. And then the Murray thing I was proud of because that's kind of like where my whole hypothesis where it's like, oh, if you vlog the edit, like the process of it, how we were saying earlier, like the actual video will do better. Because like nobody knew who Murray was, 800 followers or whatever. Came to the United States with a frame he had made, him and his buddies in a garage. And he came with fucking three of them. Like he's riding, like he's on a skateboard trip with different decks or something,
Yeah.
because he knew they would break and snap, and he hops us over this 11 rail that he ends up whipping in the part. But he hopped over it and the frame snapped. He's like, "Oh, it's okay, mate. I got fucking three of them." Or like, you know. So it was cool because we vlogged the entire process of that video. So by the time it came out, I mean, industry people watch that stuff. It's kind of weird to think about, but they were watching it. By the time it came out, it drops, video slaps, does really good views. He has this like mini common crew following at that point. Like his following had 5x or whatever by the time it came out. There was just so much more momentum and people connected with this random writer from Australia or not Australia, fucking
South
South
Africa.
Africa that they didn't know before. And then I go on a cruise like 2 days later and he calls me as I'm getting on a cruise ship. He's like, man, they fucking like Nuno or whoever it was at the time. Like he called me from Full Factory. I'm gonna be on Odyssey and Sunday now.
Let's
Like their
go.
first
Yeah.
South African rider, and like he was thanking me because he was fucking writing frames that he used to weld in his garage with his buddies or whatever, and there wasn't really any distro out there or nothing. So it was just cool, like, damn, this like create this mini hype effect. It was just it could work, and it was really cool to see that come to fruition that Murray was literally a random person from South Africa, 800 followers. We were able to show his personality and how chill he was and how gnarly he was and how quick he got clips. So by the time the video came out, people were like, I fucking know this dude, and like companies like kind of knew what he was like in a sense. It was cool,
Yeah.
man. I was really proud of that moment to be able to help Murray too when he was like the most, I think he's the best writer out right now too. He's
Yeah.
like the most deserving person of it.
Yeah, he's incredible. How did that come about? Like, did he reach out to you on Instagram? Like, hey, can I come to America? Or like, how did you meet him? Like, how does that even
Um,
start? You know?
I think Denim went to South Africa for like a BSD trip or something like that, and he stayed with them out there or something like that. And then Murray came back a few months later and stayed with Sauce, which lived down the street from my house. And Denim was saying like, yeah, like he wants you to film him and edit or whatever. And yeah, that's how that happened. And it was cool because at that point, like Boyd was in town too, so I was filming with Boyd, and it was kind of this like collective crew from all over that we were rolling with for a bit. That's what we called Common Crew, like International Biking Gang. That was like our tagline.
Yeah.
So it was just dope to be able to do all that stuff and document it.
When was this? I'm trying to look for the edit.
I think it got taken down actually. I think it might have got like,
Really?
yeah, I used that song Africa by Toto
Oh
because
yeah.
it's from there. So I
Yep.
think recently, as Sauce sent me a link that someone else like copied it and pasted it, but um,
Yeah.
that probably
Fuck
most
it.
probably. I had the whale eye too, so I was super stoked because I filmed it
Nice.
on that and like I knew how to color grade at that point and stuff, so it was really cool.
Damn. I still don't know how to color grade. I mean, I get it, but also that's a whole different ball game. Like I
I'm
watch
just tweaking colors.
professional color graders,
I'm not
it's
making
fucking
movies. I'm just tweaking some colors.
yeah, still
Yeah.
though. And the whale eye, that's something I always kind of thought someday I'd have, but nah. It's fucking 4 grand just for the lens. Let's get
It
out of
was
town,
three when
dog.
I got it, and I heard
Yeah.
they go up to like almost 10 right now.
Yeah. That's excessive. But I guess you pay a lot of money to have that HD fucking zoom rocker and keep it VX, but just make it HD. I don't know. If you were to film a BMX video right now, what would you be filming on?
Same thing, HMC 150, 720p, 60 FPS, uh, with decent mic. A fluid head tripod is like super underrated, you know, it's what you can do with those things.
Yep.
And then the whale eye, man, and then a penny board. And then that's it.
A penny board.
Yeah, I
Why
was
a
kind of
penny
dumb.
board?
Because it's easier to maneuver. Like you can turn a little sharper, and like your center of mass is kind of it's more just nice, and it also
Yeah.
has a little bit of flex, so you're more stable. And also, I saw Navaz do it, and the way I would film, if I would turn a corner, my back foot would be right behind my like my pushing foot that you used to push and stop. It'd be like right behind my like standing foot. And with the penny board, I was able to do that without being so stretched out, if that makes sense. So it just felt more comfortable to be filming that way.
On the itty bitty, because I've skated a penny board and I have filmer boards, but I never even considered to get a penny board to film with. And it's like so much lighter to put on the backpack. Like
Yeah.
I ain't
It's
mad at
awesome.
that.
It comes like you can't go wrong. You don't need to build it. You just like you film on a penny, so it's gonna be a penny every time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was cool.
How much is a penny board?
I
Hundred
think they were
bucks.
$100 back then. My girlfriend at the time, wife now, she got me one that was like a American flag printed. That was pretty sick.
We love America, dog. America's a shit, dog. Yeah, dude, 35 bucks for a little new. Wow, that's money. Fuck, I'm getting a penny board.
Make
That's
sure it's a penny board. Make sure it's not like, you know,
yeah, no, I'm on their website, dog. Penny.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that in a while.
All right, so we got your most proud writing, most proud videos. I kind of want to go more in depth on Monster Mash and Murray's video, but
Yeah.
what about editing wise? Because I guess it's included video, but
I think editing wise, I'm proud of Monster Mash. Well, first of all, there's no rap music. You know, I think that's kind of hard to a lot of people use rap now for like every full length kind of has one. Nothing against using it, but like I use it a lot in like web edits, but I think Monster Mash had its own like timeless soundtrack, which I really liked. Um, and it's probably just me because I was there, but when I watch it, like it's hard to not get emotional. I'm not like crying and shit, but it's kind of like I feel like I edit it in a way where like I let things just sit a little longer and stuff, and like it kind of lets you take it in a little more. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Plus, not to mention those songs were played in my room, like Ethan's song, by the Black Lips. I've been hearing that song play in my room since I was like 17 up until like 2021 we premiered it, you know?
yeah,
So it's like when I watch it back now, it's just like that dopamine flashback thing we were talking about. It just takes me through this time lapse. Um, and same with all the other parts in it. It's just such a cool thing to look back on. So
big
editing
facts.
wise, I'm most proud of that just because of what it does for me. I'm not saying it's my best editing, but you know, when I watch it.
Who was the first one to get their part done for Monster Mash?
Oh no. I have no idea. I really don't know. It was such a simultaneous kind of thing. And then what kind of made us put a hard stop on it was Sauce and Denim booking the venue. So everyone's like, hey, guess what, guys? You guys all have your part done now. You know, kind of like that.
Yeah, dude.
So
Because was everybody on board at the beginning? Like, we're gonna do a full length, or did you have to drag some people along, or was there any hiccups during the
no,
filming of it?
dude. So before iMessage and before all this stuff, we had a Facebook group for Common Crew, and you can only get it's like a private group, and you can only be let in. It was like a group chat, right? Back in the day,
Yeah.
and we would discuss on there, and I would just fucking rifle off project ideas, but like very, we're doing this, you know. And Colt had just dropped their Interbike promo. I don't know if you remember that. All the X, like the whole crew, was like a 20-minute video.
Yeah.
I was like, hey guys, Colt did this. We're gonna do our own. Like fucking Jacob, we're gonna have a 3-minute part. Julian will be at 350, like right after. Da, 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 da. It was just so like not organic, but I just thought that's how you were supposed to do it because in any other job or production, that is how things kind of go,
Right.
right? So I just kind of jotted it down and literally the order, the timeline, and all that stuff. Um, and that was kind of it. People were down, and then it was just funny because like you can look at the comments in that Facebook group, and people will be like, "Well, I don't know if like fucking Lance should have a full part because he's like new to the crew," and like so it's just funny, you know.
Yeah. The group
Yeah.
dynamics. That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Colt Interbike made us want to do that, and it ended up going. It's supposed to be like a Halloween promo, like the Common Crew Halloween. That's
Yeah.
what it was called, Monster Mash, and then it kind of just the hype kept building and people were progressing so fast and cameras were progressing fast and it was just this beautiful snowball effect, you know?
Yeah, that's the craziest part of Monster Mash is the old clips versus the new clips. You can see the evolution, and that's so wild because I think most videos are done when a rider's kind of like at maturity, and then they're just choosing what to do on each spot. But your dudes are literally fucking progressing every day, like it's nobody's business. It's kind of crazy to actually think about filming because they're good, and they just keep on getting better. And it's like I want to throw
Dude,
some of the old stuff out, but you
it
know,
gave me chills just thinking about that. And even in like the first Monster Mash promo, there's like this four stair rail by like the ghetto in Huntington. And literally like as long as like my arm, maybe, you know, this little rail. And there's a gate, and like me and Julian broke down this like little like side entrance kind of gate just so Ethan can crank arm this four stair rail. And like think of the fucking crank arms he was doing in Monster Mash
yeah.
by the time it came out. It's like, ooh, like that has to give you chills, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
fuck,
it's
that's
so dope.
crazy. Yeah.
Talk about he mastered the old crank arm. But you mentioned Julian, and I thought about this earlier. I was like, because Julian's kind of a enigmatic. He's mysterious. I've talked to him. I'm like, do the podcast. He's like, nah, I don't want to talk. I'm like, all right, dude. But like, what's Julian like? I've kicked it with him. Quiet
I haven't hung out
a
with them
little
in a
bit.
while. I mean, I saw him in California for a bit.
What
We
was
had a
he
little.
like at the beginning?
At the beginning, it was mostly him. We were like super close. Like once the post backyard skate park situation, me and him were kind of like, let's do this. Like at a point, he lived with me, then I lived with him. You know, slept on each other's floors and stuff like that. We were really, really close. And then I think when I got more into like the vlogging stuff and stuff, he was kind of like more like let's keep it core type thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, we had a little bit of a falling out. Now we're cool. I saw him in California. It's fine. But I mean, I haven't hung out with him in like a few years, to be honest. But you know, we follow each other. We'll send each other messages and stuff, and like obviously dap him up if he fucking drops a part or whatever, you know, or like some shit goes down, you know, I got his back and stuff. And we were laughing about the E-Claw thing just because I got him on E-Claw, then like him leaving was so hairy. So it's just funny to like reminisce on that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just fun,
Oh
yeah.
well, remind me of why it's Harry. I don't remember what happened with Julian and Eclaw. When was
Um,
this?
I think like a year and a half, 2 years ago, it was pretty big baby mama drama. It was like his grip came out or something, but like took his design is what he said, but didn't put his name on it or something like that. And then Eclaw had their side of the story, but it just seemed like a disrespectful situation on Eclaw's part. I wasn't there, but just from what I heard from Julian, it's kind of what it seemed like, and that's kind of what the comments were saying. So he just had like a rough falling out over the grip design. That's how I understand it, but
Yeah.
don't fact check me on that.
Anything happened for him since
I think
Eclaw?
he's on cinema, and then I think he drops a fucking web video every month. Like
Yeah, dude. He's
he's
one of my
like,
favorite writers. He's so fucking sick, dude.
so yeah. If I had to look at like the spectrum, right, like of core, non-core, how to do it, like to be core, like everybody should be following like Julian's example or like a Felix Perrenberg's example. You know, Brock Rayford. You know, drop the video part, be cool with the kids, fucking rock the sticker and smile.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have like the vlogger type shit. But on the core spectrum, I think Julian's like a really good example to follow of like how you probably should be doing shit right now.
Yeah, I
Plus,
agree.
he's a filmer too. He got really into filming, from what I understand. So that's cool too. Because last I heard, Sunday was even helping him out for filming projects and stuff. I'm like, dude, if you're Sunday, like running that operation, you're probably so stoked that you have a dude that's that motivated, especially in today's climate. Not only is he putting out bangers, but also incentivized to film. Like that's pretty fucking.
Yeah, it's
That's
huge.
fine. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah. Same with like that makes me think of Dakota because he's the one man army, like spots, camera, bikes, homies, just putting everybody on. Like that's you have to at this point. You can't just be. I mean, like you can, but like imagine just being a writer and you're like you never touch the camera, you never fucking look for spots. Just all right, take me to the spot. I'll do the trick. You know, it's just like you're not gonna fucking
Yeah.
make an impact. You know, so
Well, I just think that good writing isn't enough anymore. You know,
yeah,
it's important, but it's like I think, I mean, I do think that if people go pro, there has to be a discussion of like, how are you going to grow BMX? Just like you'd interview for any other job. You know, like, how do you think? Like, really bounce ideas off each other. Like, what should we do to make this doper? Like, how can you help us grow our brand? Not just have this weird, like, oh, post on Instagram, whatever, whatever. You know, it might be enough one day, it might not be enough when things get slower, we'll kick you off. Like, I think there should be a more transparent conversation. Like, let's fucking brainstorm and think just how any other company does, and says collectively as employees and managers, how do we grow not only our company but like the sport in general?
Yeah, I like that.
Uh, yeah.
It's but if you were, it makes me think like, all right, what what would Francis be doing if you had a, let's say, frame company or a complete bike company, and you had to pick your pro team, and damn, I mean, there's so much to get into with like how much profit are you making, how much can you afford to pay your rider, blah 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 blah. But like, who would be on your
Yeah.
team, and what kind of marketing would you be doing?
Yeah, I mean, if I started a company, it's gonna be to make money, that's the
Hmm.
way I see it. Like, um, tried companies for the love of it, and that's fun too. But if I'm answering honestly, I'd want to make as much money as possible. So I'd probably partner with someone first of all, like a Chris Moeller or a Robbo that understands logistics and Taiwan and all this stuff, and hunker down on that side of it, kind of have them operating as a shadow entity, and then go into swooping up all the people that are leading the most impressions. You know what I mean? Like all the Panzas, or even like the who's that kid Talon out in fucking
Yeah, the
Austin. Like
Captain Suron.
yeah, yeah, he doesn't really
Yeah,
ride anymore, but he has that appeal where it's like, damn, like can these people go viral? Because even right now, if you have any other company, you want virality, you want views, you want impressions, and people kind of associate that with selling out or not core or whatever fucking term you want to attach to it. But really, it's like you're there to generate revenue, and I don't think a writer should just if you're getting a paycheck from a company, I don't think they should be deciding what their job description is, like
yeah,
for accepting that. So if you're running for my company, I'd say, yeah, let's fucking, are you creative? Yes. Do you enjoy being creative? And do you enjoy being creative? Yeah, then we're fucking halfway there. I'd probably look for the most out of the box thinkers, not so much the hard 5 bars, stuff like that,
yeah.
personally.
Okay, so we got Talon and we got Panza. You got to
That's
pick.
it. Let's go.
There's just all right. That's a good starting too. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there too that I feel like with the right PR team or something. Like I feel like Johnny Rakis or something, he could be the next Panza if he decided to apply himself, which kind of sounds out of pocket because like you might not really think of him that way, but he's got personality and he breaks out of his shell more and more every
I
year. Like,
love it, dude.
I
Seeing that happen has been so sick.
it's cool. It's really cool, and those are the kind of things people talk about. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like more people will remember that dude than like the best trick he might have done or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that kind of shit I would look for, and yeah, it's just more fun too because I don't know. It's only so fun to go out and scare yourself every single day. Like the reward is awesome, but even when we were vlogging, it was like, oh shit, if we get kicked out, like we can just fuck with the security guard. We got a clip just for something else type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like the intention is to get the clip, but it's like, hey, if someone eats shit and like the other guy calls him a pussy or something, like that's just as good and almost relieves this pressure where it's like you didn't get the clip today, but you didn't fail. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I like that vibe for like working with
Personality.
people.
Personality goes a long way, especially off the bike personality.
I mean,
Um,
it's so important when you're off the bike. So why don't we show it on the bike? You know what I mean? Like the first thing companies do is they throw an AM kid or a flow kid in the van with all these pros and hope to get along. Like, why not? Like, if he's so dope, fucking push it out there so he can virtually get along with your 200,000 followers that your brand already has. It doesn't make any sense to keep that inside. You know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah, that's interesting. Would you apply any of the marketing shit and the media buying that you're doing right now to this hypothetical bike company?
Um, Probably not, just because there's not really a lot of I can't say this word, product differentiation in BMX, especially to like someone who isn't um product aware. Like a lot of the people I'd be going after maybe don't know what BMX is. So my frame having better geometry or whatever I can change on it wouldn't apply to my fucking demographic I'm going after. So I'd probably just go for the organic like Mr. Beast challenge type stuff if I were to grow a BMX company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which sounds so lame, I know, for like 90% of people, but it's just what I would do if I was in it to make money and grow the sport.
Well, yeah, it's like a different. I don't know. It's funny because you have to like. You're like saying, "It's so lame." I know, but it's just like it's not lame, dude. It's just a different part of the culture. Not culture. It's a different part of the game. Like there's, I love the being the cool core dude and putting out the full length that I lose a bunch of money doing, but And the
Yeah.
other end of it, you can look at it from a business perspective. And I have a degree in business management and entrepreneurship, so I am like trained to look in that direction
Yeah.
and also in this direction. There's that like dichotomy of like that's fucking cringe and lame, but also like get the fuck over it. Like what does that even mean to be cringe or lame? I think it's super
Yeah.
liberating if you just get over that. Sometimes embrace the cringe, do the thing that's cringy. If you really want what's on the other side of being cringe for a little bit, if being cringe is effective, nobody gives a shit. Like that's the
And
other piece.
sometimes it's not
Nobody
cringe to the
cares.
person doing it. Like to me, it
Yeah.
wasn't the vlog. Because to me, it's like we're out here riding BMX videos or making BMX videos. I'm just gonna vlog it because I see the payoff. I wanted to repeat the Murray thing, over and over again. And we did it with Crank Flipper too. He like blew up from a random kid in high school to like signing autographs after that summer when he was going back to school. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted just like is it cringe to go out and film BMX stuff and just like capture the jokes you'd be saying anyways? Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
what's cringe about just documenting it? And what pissed me off the most is like people are saying it's cringe. Like, okay, we're all at the session, right? What does everybody do when they roll up? They film like this for the Instagram story or the Instagram clip. But the second you film like this for the YouTube channel, it's freaking insane. It's so lame.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like it's just so dumb, bro. Like it's the same shit, just a 90-degree turn.
Yep. I also
So
thought like there's people out there who think it's cringe just what we're doing, even the core shit. Just like, oh, you're gonna ride around looking for stairs to jump off of on your little kid's bike. Cringe. It's just
everything is
fucking
cringe to someone and the coolest thing to someone else. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
It's just who cares? People are just doing it themselves, honestly. I don't know.
What is so you said you didn't feel cringe doing all the shit that you've done, but what have you done that you think is cringe?
Um, right, any podcast I've ever been on. Like not this. I'm not trying, that's not a dig at you. I'm trying to
No, that's a
watch
funny
myself.
joke if it was.
No, 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 no. Like genuinely, like I think I'd rather shave my head than listen to my No Jumper podcast or my Brand More podcast or stuff like that. I think for a long time, Common Crew had this like need to want to be like fucking Drake or Migos or something and have like this BMX beef kind of fueling a lot of our hype. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and I think like maybe feeding into that a little too much, being a little too stoked that like Dan Lazy was pissed at Ethan. It's kind of cringy. You know what I mean? Or something
Yeah.
like that. But that's just being a kid too. Like that's another thing, bro. Like we did so much cringe shit, but it's only cringe because it was documented. And we were the first generation where like our come up was documented, not even by the vlogs, but just by Instagram and Twitter and all this stuff. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
guarantee you these pros that were like saying we were cringy, if they were 16 with the ability to communicate to anybody they wanted to instantly, like they'd be saying some stupid shit too.
Hmm.
So I just think, yeah, just like the beef and stuff, like as the crew was coming up is kind of cringy just because like fighting over something as pure as BMX is just so lame.
So tell me about the beefs, because I this is the first I like rings a bell that I vaguely remember Dan Lacey and Ethan, but I don't really remember. Can you fill me in on that one and maybe
Yeah,
if there's
I
more?
mean, I'm not even saying Ethan was wrong, but um uh Common Crew was nominated for Nora Cup or whatever, and then like the Vans video won, right? I'll get my opinion to myself on that. But when Vans won, Ethan tweeted like Monster Mash was the best video of the year or whatever. And then I remember Dan Lacey was like, "You really are this little cunt, aren't you?" or something like that. And we were like dying laughing. And then they had a little back and forth. And it's just like, I don't know, like why? Why like why have the back and forth? Why tweet that? But like, I'm stoked he did tweet it because I mean, I feel like I don't know. I felt the same way Ethan was. I definitely retweeted it, not gonna lie. But it's just like, why get mad about it? Like, just like have your opinion, I'll have mine, and then just like talk shit. But it doesn't have to become like an intense thing. I'm not saying it was intense, but it definitely felt that way sometimes. Where it's like, I felt like nobody fucked with us besides like a few sponsors we had. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um, so maybe a lot of it was perception too, because we were like little kids. Like
Yeah,
we
and
put
Dan
out.
Lacey's like up there, like Dan Lacey's on a fucking pedestal.
Dude, I mean, yeah, you grow up watching Dan Lacey and Bruno and split edits and all this stuff, and they say something like that, you're just like, damn, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
or even like Mike Mastroni talk shit to me or whatever. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm on air saying you're my favorite filmer ever, and now you're talking shit to me. Like, it was just like,
What
just a
did Mike
weird
say?
wheel.
What did Mike say to you?
I put out a Devin video. My white balance was off, so he looked like a little red in it. And then he
Dude,
makes
your
fun.
white balance used to suck.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's probably cringe too, but I mean, I don't know. It worked for in terms of getting views and stuff like that. People were not watching over it, but as a filmer, yeah, you're probably like, what the fuck? Like people are
Yeah, I
paying for.
remember. It's hitting a bell now. I'm like, oh yeah, they were always red. Like it, skin tones were so red.
Yeah, I think
But
I
then you
wanted to.
figured it out eventually.
No, yeah, especially during that Murray time, I realized like filming flat is better than grading in post and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
But what's it called? Yeah, Mike made a joke or something, and I was just so like hurt by it because to me, I was like, damn, dude, like I know you, like all this stuff, like why not just message me? Like you've seen my other
yeah,
shit, you know? Like to me, I would just do that. Like, hey, dude, like it might look better if you do it this way, not just drop like a Seinfeld meme on me. And me and Mike are cool. He actually apologized to me. He was very mature about it. I think maybe he realized that it hurt my feelings because it did. And honestly, ever since that, I needed that though, because I was a little cocky idiot that didn't know shit about filming and editing, honestly. But ever since that interaction, like no matter how good or how successful or whatever, however I ascend into something, in the back of my head, I'm like, there's a Mike Mastroni out there who can look at what I'm doing, and he's probably 10 times better than me, and I'm probably doing everything wrong. So like my ego will never inflate again from that
yeah,
moment, you know?
yep,
Uh, so yeah, because I was on top of the world. I was like, dude, back then you drop a Devon edit on the come up, 100K in the first day. You know what I mean? Like
yep,
I remember the standard was like 10K views an hour, or I'm not fucking like, is this not it? It's not popping off. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that
yeah.
was the standard. And then Mike just fucking shit on my fucking head. And I remember, dude, I remember the exact parking lot I was in, the everything. That was such a crazy moment. Because like they had asked me on like No Jumper the come up, like who your favorite filmer is, like top three. And I just said like Mike Mastroni three times, like
Nice.
the before. And I was like, oh my God, bro. It's like got rejected at homecoming on fucking live or something. I don't know.
Oh man, it's amazing how much of an impact just like a comment on the internet can have on you. You like would like to act like, oh no,
It was more like a
it's
comment. It
cool.
was a Seinfeld skit. It was
What
like
did he
a
do? He posted a. Oh,
it
it
was
was
like a
the Kramer coming in after, and it's my rods and cones are all screwed up. That one.
yeah, something like that. But he made two of them. So it was like I felt like he was like team weeding me or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, dude, I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, why are you being a dick? Like, you know what I mean? But like I was probably being a cocky asshole or something,
Oh
you know.
man, I love it.
And it was, I don't know, it was cool to like be a fucking cocky asshole because it resonated with our audience. You know what I mean? We were
Yeah,
talking to like other kids who maybe they understand like, oh, this is a Drake lyric. This he's not actually saying this. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's what this caption means or whatever.
We should
So
all like have that. I would love to have more of that in my brain, like the just cocky, like just like self belief. I mean, I believe in myself, but just to be like, nah, I'm the shit. It's cool. Like that rapper confidence. Like I don't have
yeah,
that. And I think
yeah,
it's from BMX, like you're saying, like the humility that gets bashed into you from just trying to do something in this industry, and then the moment you're like slightly different is the fuck is that? Wipe bounce off, da 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 da, or whatever, and then it's
yeah,
just like, oh,
yeah.
okay, you humble yourself real quick.
Which is funny because like people be like, well, BMX is a small community, man. We all gotta take care of each other and look out for each other. But then that shit will happen.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I mean?
vicious.
Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up with that. It's just I don't know, but it's cool. I mean, I think being confident is important, because approaching things with a negative mindset, you're only going to get so far. Um, but just being in check, like you're not the shit. And if you have any form of success, like a lot of it is also probably luck, you know.
hmm
Uh, it's not all on you ever. And we can talk about God and stuff like that too, which is huge, but that's just you gotta take yourself out of the you're a very small part of the equation in the grand scheme of things, you know.
yeah, for real. It's
Mm.
a it's a fine dance of like being confident and believing in yourself enough to do your thing, but then not letting all the positive feedback get to your head and letting your ego get too big. You have to navigate it kind of even keeled of just like people can love it, people can hate it, and that's it. It doesn't matter because I liked it, and it's
Exactly. And I was just going off like comments saying like they loved it or like they love my editing or my
yeah, you're
videos.
like
It's like
I'm the
kids that don't
shit.
know the kids that don't know what cameras are supposed to look like. So it's like I mean, I would even see other people like kind of copy my style and they would also be kind of red and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck it, man, we're red now. Like, sorry to tell you, man. Like, I mean,
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Did
on
you
the
ever
whole.
graduate to filming with anything better than the HMC?
Trying to think. I had like a A7S for other stuff, but for BMX, no. I had like just two HMCs at one point, and then like I would upgrade the accessories, but the meat of it, it was just too light, too perfect, and at a certain point, I was like, upgrading is gonna cost me like let's say 4 grand. Like, I gotta sell this many videos just to fucking break even, not including gas and food. So it's just like I don't know. To me, it was like taking the fun out of it to have a bunch of lenses to switch out. I never liked the DSLR shit either. And to me, like if it wasn't fun, it was just kind of like, well, it's not making me bread, so why would I
Yeah, and if it
sacrifice
works,
the
why
fun?
fix it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sure I missed opportunities, but it's all good. I mean, whatever.
Nah. I just fucked around for the first time a couple months back filming a BMX video with a Sony FX3, and I was like, damn, because it's like 4K 60, got a nice little handle on it, put a fisheye on, and I was like, this is fucking sick. What am I doing? Because I'm still filming with a VX, one single VX in the bag, and that's all I've got. And that's I can't
Yeah,
add like the stress of like having $10,000 on my back when I'm pedaling around downtown. Like I'd rather have my $300 setup and
exactly.
not trip on it.
And when you say Sony FX, whatever, I couldn't even tell you what that camera looks like. Or when people say like, "Oh, it's a 22 to 25 millimeter," I don't know what any of that shit means. I know what an ecstasy is. I know what an extreme fisheye is. I know like aperture, shutter, white balance now. But
All
that's
the
all I
fucking
know, bro. I don't know camera. I couldn't navigate through a camera store or tell you what it means. Like when I was doing the USL stuff, Grant was always upgrading and had all this crazy shit. And I was just like, damn, that's fucking crazy. Like, he's about it, Like, he wants his work to look as good as possible.
yeah,
I was more on like, it looks good, but I want to have as much fun. I'm not saying he wasn't having fun, but I was like, I want to keep it light, you
yeah.
know,
He's a
flexible.
gearhead, dude. I remember Justin Cosman rolled through town, gave me some advice of like, what are you gonna upgrade to next? Because he's a camera head too. Like, like save up, get the next thing, sell the gold thing, and then da 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 da. And like, even since he's told me that, I've never fucking saved up and bought a camera. They just kind of happen. I've never been a gearhead. I'm a
There's a fine line
minimalist.
because at a certain point, and like, this is still hypocritical, but like, because I'm talking about open-minded content ideas, but like at a certain point for me, like my core side comes out when it gets too HD and glide cammy, right? And there's a drone following the dude down the stair set. To me, I just don't like the way that looks. So, that's where my inner core asshole comes out. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
let's
So,
go. I'm a little core that way too. The fucking first person drones though, dude, those look fun. Like, have you played with one of those?
no, I haven't. HMC only, bro.
HMC, you can fucking throw that up in the sky and get a drone shot, dude.
Yeah.
I really want it because I'm good at video games, so I want to fucking slap on and just fucking follow somebody. There's a bunch of like FPV. Brad, I think, is like filming Ryan Williams, and that looks fun.
Mhm.
But it's
Or even like
also random.
The Niger parts that come out, they're all like, who's that dude, Chris Evans or something that has like a
Yeah,
easy setup. Like when he dropped, I forgot what part it was, but it has like that, like in movies when like there's an alligator chasing somebody and it switches to the perspective of an alligator and the vision's kind of like this.
yeah.
That's what it fucking looked like. Like an alligator was chasing Nigel Houston down a stair set, and I'm just like, I don't like looking at
Fucking
this, man. Like,
alligators. Jeez.
and I would think to like, oh, Fade to Black was sick, like that Nigel part, or like his Element part when he was a kid. It was just so like extreme fisheye camera, like night filming
Yep.
and clean,
I mean, you can't change it too much. I like a little like dash of the fancy shit in there, but to like make the whole thing just completely, because there's fundamentals that I don't think will ever change when it comes to filming skating or BMX. Like
Hmm.
fisheye, there's like a way to do it. You can like put your own style on it, but there's fundamentals that I think are important. And yeah,
Yeah. I want to see the vertical fisheye shit. I want to see people start
yeah.
filming
You know what
that
I
when
saw? Like I don't. You follow Albert Mercado?
I want to
He just
answer that.
posted. He just posted a clip of a fast plant or a foot plant bar spin thing that got a Photoshop by Joey Cobbs. But in the background, I saw Demo Demarcus holding a rig with a DSLR flipped this way. They're
Yeah.
filming for the gram on a professional rig with a camera light on it and shit and a fucking microphone attached. I was like, there we are. We have arrived here in the future where we're filming HD vertical. You know.
I mean, even dude, even on your iPhone, it's so good. And I feel like if people were to embrace like I think BMX is in the best position to blow up right now, honestly, and riders can be like the happiest and also making the most money right now with the least amount of stress. I mean, you can film on an iPhone, you can make shit look good versus like kill yourself every day. You can be yourself and generate views, not have to always even be putting out writing. I think if people switch to perspective, they'd be like, damn, this is the best time, in a long time to really take advantage of what we do. It's the
Yeah,
barrier to entry is so low.
yeah.
So
It
it's
really
dope.
isn't because you already have the 4K camera in your pocket, and like just do the Brad Sims model. Like so much good shit happened to him. Obviously, you can't downplay how much work Brad Sims put in throughout his life, but there was that one year where he was like, "I'm gonna just go as hard as I can and get as many eyeballs as I can on Instagram," and then all this good shit's
Yeah.
happening for him. It's like
And that was
just
like a
to
hard
embrace that.
reset. I mean, he was 0 to 100, dude. Like, good for him. Like, he fucking did exactly what we're talking about.
Yep,
Um, and he took over sponsorship positions that like Adidas and all this other stuff that really wasn't there before. So, I mean, I would consider that like a cold start. Like,
yeah, dude. He
I
like
don't, he run any momentum into that. It was just, I'm gonna fucking film and blow up.
he was the founding BMX member of the Adidas 510 shit, which he was telling me the story. It was wild, because this shit didn't exist, and then there it is. And then he brought Colin and Demarcus and everybody along, which is so dope.
Yeah.
Um,
I hope that fucking works out. I wonder how I'm always weary of that because I wonder how they measure success. Like, hey,
yeah,
Brad, here, I don't know, 5Gs or whatever. How are they gauging that ROI? It's always what I'm thinking.
for real. Yeah,
So to me, I'm like, oh, we're in. Like, let's fucking like, can we do shop stops? Can we do fucking like, I guess he has a BMX shoe now, which is dope because that's a good way to like one-to-one compare how much money it brings in, kind of. But to me, I'm just like, fuck, like let's really show these people like, they
that there
put a
is an
dollar.
ROI because otherwise it is just like Levi's or any other big brand that comes in. They just have a budget and they're like, okay, let's spend it on these guys, and then there's no real like did the Levi's BMX program sell more jeans, and how would you even measure that? Like, and same thing
And
with
what the Nike
Adidas.
thing was, right? There was no BMX shoe in Nike.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like, how do we even gauge why we're paying Garrett Reynolds this or that? Like, how do you justify it at a certain point? A lot of these people, I feel like they're just like, oh, X Games podium or something. Who knows? Maybe that's just like the North Star on if we should
yeah.
keep paying someone. I don't know.
But like, think about that. Back in the day, what was the value of getting on the podium? And it's eyeballs. And so now the
Yeah.
modern day version of that, you don't have to be on the podium. You just have to get attention, and that's the reality that we're all a part of.
Yeah. I wonder if they have like a view quota or something they have to hit. I'd love to see that contract. Like, how do you define
Yeah,
success? You know what I mean?
that's fucking interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Um, how do you define success?
Yeah. I mean,
what's
fuck, man.
what's the meaning of life, Francis?
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know. Just imagine sitting down at Mr. Adidas' office or whatever, and you're just like, all right, here's your fucking paycheck. All right. You have job expectations at any job. So I
Yeah.
wonder if conversations happen because it's so corporate and sponsoring dudes that are so core, like fucking Colin and Brad and Demo.
Yep.
So it's like, where's the bridge there? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that?
For real. Me too. It's interesting to hear your business mind of it because how did this come about? You're like, because you are almost uniquely business minded in the BMX world, which is cool. And it seems like you've been that way since you were super young. Why are you the way that you are?
Um, I don't know. I think maybe it's like an immigrant family thing, like hustle, hustle, like we made it to America type shit, like figure something out, you know what I mean?
Where's your family from?
Argentina. I came in 1999. I was 3 years old and couldn't speak English. All I could say was "I love you," and all the Mexican kids in LA that were in class with me would make fun of me for it. Um, but it was just yeah, learning curve for sure. But I think that's maybe where it comes from, and also just I've always kind of, I don't know, never really wanted to have a normal job. Like having to show up somewhere, like someone telling you have to show up somewhere just feels so, for me, just defeating. And for other people, it feels really awesome because it's stable and it's how their brain operates. But I feel like as someone who's naturally like creatively inclined, I look at like finances in a creative way where it's kind of like, oh, how can I fucking pay rent this month? Like it's all on me right now. Like it's crazy. You wake up every day and you're just like let's get
Yeah.
fucking creative, bro. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's always, I think it comes from creativity and the immigrant, the mix of that. My dad's pretty entrepreneurial, but he's always had a job. My mom is super not entrepreneurial. She always thought it was like silly and all that stuff. She's more like traditional, almost like Japanese vibes, like like really stern education, like all those great values, but she's not really entrepreneurial in terms of endorsing for it or telling me to go do it, you know.
Yeah. So
So
like when it came to, getting the homie sponsored, which I'd like to know who all you're responsible for or partly responsible for getting
mhm.
riders hooked up. But like where does that attitude come from? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I,
Um
obviously it can't just be a conscious thing when you're that young. You're just like fucking young and you're like, I want this. I want this for you, so let's try that, That fearless, because a lot of people just wouldn't even bother with the email. They'd be like, no, no, that's I can't email them. You're just like, fuck it,
well,
I'll do it.
yeah, I mean to me it's like that. It's like what it's not a big deal. You're just literally like this. Like this is all like it's never been easier, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So, to me, it's always like I always like to reverse engineer things. Like, oh, I want to make 2 grand a month because that means I can pay my car insurance or whatever bill I had back then. So I would just reverse engineer like, what's a win-win situation where I can sell, let's say, I sell a video for $400 or something, where I can sell 5 videos a month, whatever, whatever, and reach that goal. And I'm like, okay, I can fill my friends, but no one's paying me for it. Who would pay for this? Probably companies. Let me hit up companies. It was just kind of like that simple, but also with that childhood stoke of like I got my friends hooked up or my friends are hooked up in general, kind of fueling that as well. So
yeah.
um, yeah, it's probably a mix of both things. It's trying to hype up my homies because I've always wanted to do that, and also just like reverse engineering my financial goals, whatever it is.
That's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the
I think
most you ever made from a BMX video?
not much at all. I think like a
Yeah,
thousand bucks or something.
yeah, that's huge for a BMX video. That's dope.
Not compared to fucking what I've been hearing nowadays, man. I don't know. I
What you been
mean,
hearing?
I don't know. I'm not gonna name drop, but I got some good friends that make more than me that have day rates and all this stuff. And when you divide out $1,000 for a project that took you 4 months,
It's nothing.
it's I might as well be making the iPhone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
circle back to that. Like it's the worst job you can possibly have in this country, I think, in terms of ROI
yeah.
on your time.
Be a BMX filmer, work on a project for a year, and sell it for $500. That'll be
Yeah. No,
dope.
but then there's situations like Kramus, dude, like he got me on a deal with Vital where they wanted like 4 videos a week. And then that
Oh
becomes
yeah,
easier when you have someone expecting a quota. It's like, all right, let me plan around. Like, let me go to the skate park. I'll film Jared Duncan and edit, Justin Spree a bike check, and a game of bike between Alec and fucking whatever. Like it starts to become more scientific that way. And then they're stoked because if they wear their brand logo in the video, then they get paid too, plus they're
video
technically
incentive.
their
Yeah,
job, you know?
yeah,
So I mean, if you do it right, it's cool. Yeah, but in terms of like just a highest paid video, $1,000 is like the biggest check I ever got for a BMX video. But then there was times where Woodward wanted fucking, I don't know, 7 how-tos in a week. So I made like $2,400 that week or something like that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Um,
That's a damn good week in BMX. That's money.
yeah, there was two of them in the same month. It was crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
that's
Yeah.
great. I
Lived at
remember
Woodward.
selling to ESPN. They were big payers, like 350 per video.
Mhm.
Vital and Crooked World was like 200, 250. And just like getting formulaic with it. I was working at Jimmy John's and then just hustling, filming these little videos, like a skate park session or a fucking deck park session, even. But just something where it's like, all right, everybody come here, we'll film, and then I go and sell the video, and they get exposure. They get, it's
Yeah.
the
You want to hear
win-win. Yeah,
some shady shit I used to do?
yeah.
Um, he's not even, yeah, it's pretty shady. So,
It's not even. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
shitty.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I'll explain the story. So, I'd fucking film like an edit for Fit for Ethan's like Welcome to Pro part, I remember. And I'd say Moeller pay me $400 for that. I'd hit up fucking Adam or Alfred like, yo, it's premiere on the come up, you know? You pay me $400. So I
Nice.
feel like making $800 and like neither
Good
party
for
really
you, dude.
knew
Yeah,
type thing.
double dipping.
And then I had the conversation with Moeller because he found out because he talked to Alfredo or something. And I'm sure they had no problem. It doesn't affect anything for them if
Yeah.
they both pay me, right? But I just didn't think to communicate it because it felt shady. But Shady was just not talking about it. Anyways, I told Mueller that he found out. Or like, yeah, I just assumed, And then that's where I heard the line like, "When you assume, it makes an ass out of you and
Yeah.
me." First time I ever heard that, and I'll never forget it. So
It's
transparency
a
is
great
good.
line, dude.
Yeah,
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. But man, I respect the hustle on that. I wish I thought of that. That's fire.
I did that for a little bit to be honest. But fuck, I mean, dude, you spend all that time making a video, like
Yeah,
800. Even that is like, come on, dude. Like,
For real, for months of going to spots and spending 2 hours. I try and explain it to regular people of just like the process of filming a BMX trick is ridiculous. Like there's no ROI if you put it that way. It's just like let's spend 4 hours and maybe get a clip that's 3 seconds long, and that's it.
the payment is a cherry on top because you're not
Yeah,
doing it for the money. I mean, at certain points, like I do have goals, right? Like I want to make my 2 grand a month so I can keep driving my car around, or you know what I mean? Whatever it is, like I have my share. I have my girlfriend now, wife. Like I want to be able to go out with her every weekend and go out to eat or get sushi. Like it's okay to have goals too. And it's okay to commingle your financial goals with BMX. Like, why not? If everybody's winning, you know what I mean? It's not
yeah.
like I'm fucking stealing royalties or something.
Yeah, it's not a zero sum game. Like just because you make money doesn't mean like somebody's losing money. Like it's not a bad thing to try and make. That was a big mental hurdle for me because I might as well have been a communist until I was like 24. I hated money and I hated the idea of like working for money and all this shit. But getting over that and being like, money's a fucking just a exchange of energy and value. It's not a good or a bad thing. Getting over that and just being like okay with charging money. I remember the first time like I charged more than a couple grand for a video. I was like, here's here's my
Yeah.
proposal. It's a big and then they're just like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, oh, it's like that. It's an
Yeah,
interesting.
real world money is different than BMX. Again, it's the best thing because you work too hard, you get underpaid, it takes too long. So by the time you go into the real world, it's like everything is so easy and saturated
Yeah,
here. So
for
like
real.
I don't know. I had some people though, like some BMX companies. I'm not gonna say names, and because I was kind of in the same wave as you, where I wasn't communist or anything like that, but it was kind of like money was very taboo, and I didn't feel comfortable invoicing, or someone would give me a check and I felt bad, and it would sit on my counter for like 2 weeks or something. I didn't want to cash it. I felt so bad.
Yeah, because it'll hurt them if you cash it type shit.
Well, dude, one of the first BMX gigs that was kind of legit that I had, I don't want to say names, but I'd get paid and then I'd get a screenshot and it'd be like, this is how much is left on the account after we paid you. You know what I mean? Like, this is our PayPal account,
Oof.
like where your
Yeah.
payment comes from. And I was like, damn, I feel so terrible right now, even though this is a agreed upon thing, and you're
Yeah.
benefiting, I'm benefiting. That really fucked me up too. And that's like, I actually got over that recently, like this year type shit. Because when it's your first exposure, it's so much more detrimental for it to be positive, or else it could really mess you up later.
Yeah. Big time. Man, that's fucked. Here, yeah, I'll give you a couple $100 for this. But also, by the way, this is how much I have in my bank account. That's fucked up,
Literally,
dude.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was terrible. I'll spill the tea on that after the podcast.
Sounds like a plan. um, so you've known Sauce forever. Hit me with a Sauce story, dude. I don't like what if I if he didn't want you to air something out on a podcast, what would it be?
Sauce is the opposite. He'd want me to say anything. He's probably mad that I'm not saying enough shit right now.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause he knows who that last story is about. I'm trying to think, man. No, Sauce is chill. I mean, that's the thing. You probably know everything about him because he doesn't really hold back much, but it was cool. He was I actually was just with him in California. I work with him still to this day, which is cool. Um, it's funny because we work with China so much. I'll air this out. He's super like fucking the Chinese are taking over, fucking don't download TikTok, practice socialism distancing, like shit like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Then he works with China every day and sends them like many thousands of dollars every single day to import product. So fuck you, sauce.
That's pretty clever. The socialism distancing is pretty good. I
He has,
like
dude,
that.
we go on fucking these Zoom calls with these manufacturers, and this redneck has the sign behind him on the Zoom meeting. I'm like, whatever, I don't like socialism either, like I left Argentina, but it's like it's so funny that it's like work it over, white boy. You know what I mean? Like so funny.
It is what it is. Oh, fucking Sauce,
Yeah.
dude.
You'd probably
That's
be pissed about that.
I love that about him is just the shamelessness. Like he's like okay with himself and is okay with whatever he's done. He's just like, yeah, fucking air it all out. It's pretty great.
Yeah. I'm very different. I'm very sensitive and emotional, which I feel like makes us good partners. It's because if I'm freaking out about something, it's usually vice versa, or he's maybe moving on this a certain way. It helps, it's a good balance for sure.
Yeah, like you need Sauce's temperament to be a strong businessman. I mean, you can be sensitive and be a good businessman, but like the fucking I don't give a shit. He's so good at bartering and negotiating. It's fucking, and I haven't even seen it. I can just tell. Like, it just talking with him, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy means business. It's pretty dope, and he's practiced with whatever. I need to talk to him on here again. Get his whole story of, um, like the origins of his business shit with the cars
Yeah,
and
ask
real
him about
estate.
all the Chinese negotiations he does.
Yeah, that would be
'Cause
fun.
he does mostly that nowadays, from what I hear. So
That's exciting shit that you get to work internationally and just make money from your computer. Pretty
yeah, it's
jealous.
very difficult, but I'm happy we cracked the code. I hope to go to China this year.
How long did it take to crack the code? I mean, we're talking so vague. We'll move on, but I'm curious.
Um,
How long did it take to crack the code?
well, after I did BMX, I started doing media buying and like Facebook ads for brick and mortar businesses.
Cool.
Um, so I was doing kind of like what I'm doing now. But then when COVID hit, I lost all my clientele. So I was like, okay, well, let me just figure out how to do what I was doing for them, for like Chinese products essentially. And it was kind of like a gradual transition. So I did like 2 years of like the lead gen stuff, and then COVID hit, and then no, probably 3 months of the e-commerce stuff, and then I figured it out. And then I thought I had it figured it out. Then I had a Mike Mastroni moment where I was like, damn, I don't know shit actually. Thank you, Mike. And I refigured it out, and now I'm much better at it. So from 2018 to now, however long that is,
Nice. Good for you,
six
dude.
years.
I'm. I want to dabble. I shall dabble.
Yeah, everybody should, but most people will not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's so many courses for different ways to make money, like real estate wholesaling, and I see everybody gets stoked and they're ready to go, and then it comes time to actually do the work, and they're just like, yeah, including myself. I fucking took the wholesaling course that my boss has, and it's
I
pretty
took sauces.
straightforward.
I took
Pretty. s-
sauces. I worked for Sauce. I did the cold calling for them, and then I ended up doing media buying for his boss because I was in there so much. But I thought it was
Nice.
on the
Yeah.
phone.
How was your
I had like
experience
a
cold calling? What was your
I
script?
think
Call me.
it was
Let's role play it.
okay. I got you.
Hello.
What are you? Are you a homeowner or are you a business
Yeah,
owner?
single family homeowner. My house is dog shit.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey Bobby, it's Francis. I'm sorry, I don't have the wrong number, do I?
Nice. No, no, this is Bobby.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I wanted to reach out because I'm working with a group of investors, and they wanted me to personally ask if you were interested in selling your home at some point today or maybe in the future.
Maybe.
Okay, now when you say maybe, are you talking maybe tomorrow, 3 months, 6 months?
Maybe in a couple of months. Yeah.
Okay, like would 2 months be safe to assume?
Sure.
Okay, now what would change between now and 2 months that you'd want to sell then?
My grandma's moving out. I gotta get rid of this shit and da 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 da. But yeah, just dealing with some stuff.
Okay, how long have you been dealing with this stuff? Is
Yeah,
grandma
I'm
excited?
just digging to the pain points. I love it, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
whole
you're
point
good.
of what I learned from Sauce was fucking cut that 2 month into fucking 2 weeks or whatever it is, because a lot of the time it's procrastination and you end up saying, hey Bobby, I'll move your grandma out myself. I mean,
Yeah,
you're around it all the time, but I did
that's
a
pretty
lot of
good though.
that.
Did you get a deal?
Nah, I got some lead flow going. I was really good at like booking the appointments and stuff like that, but I didn't really do it for long enough.
It's such a
And
fucking grind. Yeah, it's
yeah.
yeah,
And then it's funny because like while I was doing that, I was like, oh, I'll just start another store, and like that took off within like 2 weeks of doing that or whatever.
yeah.
So, while my wife is home, but yeah, that's cold calling's not for me. I did do another cold calling job later in life where I was calling dealership owners, which was like so much gnarlier than calling homeowners. Like,
Really?
I would chew you alive, bro. It's fucking crazy.
Why the fuck you calling my phone, little pussy? That type
Oh yeah,
shit.
so what I would do is I would say like, I'll be honest with you, Bobby. This is a cold call. Would you like to hang up or can I have just 20 seconds of your time?
Nice.
Like, they'd be like, oh, yeah, whatever. What do you want? You know what I mean? So,
That's pretty slick. I like that.
I
That's
got,
yeah. I think about that, and I have the little ego in me is just like, yeah, I could cold call and be successful at it with like little tricks like that, or just like kind of what's it called when you get somebody's guard down, pattern interrupt type shit, instead of the usual just like, hi, I'm calling about your property on 123 Main Street. Are you looking to sell? Like if you stick to a script, it feels stupid, but if you hit them with like something like you just said, like, yeah, this is a cold call. What's up? How's your
yeah.
day? Type shit.
I
But
mean, I would
also
say
get
that
right to it.
200 times a day, though. Like, I would say that same joke 200 times a day. So,
Yeah,
but
that
it was like,
sucks, man.
dude, at a certain point, me and like the other top caller, this guy Jeremy in Sauce's, it was boss's office, we would just start saying things like, oh, how many times can we sneak this word into the conversation? Or like,
Yeah.
just having fun with it. Because once they chew you out, you can ask them a question and it diffuses. Like this one dude's like, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass. You guys fucking call me all the time. And then I would say like, what would I say? Like, oh, well, what made you respond that way? And then they would like go into it, and I'm like, and then it would just
Yeah,
diffuse everything. It was so fascinating.
yeah. You're reacting pretty strongly. There must be a reason for that. What's going on? You know that da 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 da.
Yeah, exactly. It
There's a
was a
whole
good
art
time.
to it, man. It's kind of crazy to think about how many just fucking people are out there, and we're so in our little world. Like even, I think I've said this before, but BMX is such a small niche within this niche of cycling, and then that cycling thing is just a tiny little. So many fucking people. So yeah,
Yeah,
cold calling's it kind of it's like thickens your skin of just like I don't give a shit. You're just some random person. Click bye forever. You know, like I'll never
yeah.
see you again.
That's one thing. I have that skill. Like if I wanted to, like even buying a house, I've thought about like, maybe pulling a list of people with liens against their properties, or you know what I mean, like lay on
Yeah,
their bills or whatever. And I'm like, you'll probably get a deal out here if I went hard at it. But
Florida's popping from what I understand. Like from the
I've
wholesalers
seen,
I'm around, it's popping.
yeah, I don't really know how to judge the market. I'm seeing price cuts everywhere, and I'm assuming when interest rates drop, prices will go up. So I'm trying to get in now, even though the interest rate is high. But I don't really understand the market super well. Really, all I knew was like that script, and then kind of like the rehab formula for how much money you put in, and
Yeah.
max allowable offer, all that shit.
Yep. MAO. Fucking A. Our worlds have, collided in multiple ways. I love it. You and me have a
Yeah,
bunch in common. That's cool.
yeah, man.
Um all right, should I hit you with the standard Kanode nose questions? I think
Yeah.
we,
Oh,
we
we never
covered
talked
the
about
proudest
USL, but
one.
we can do that in the next one.
Say that again.
We never went over USL, but we can do that in the next one.
Oh
That was
no, fuck that. Let's talk about USL. I actually did want to talk about that when you brought it up, and then we moved on to whatever the fuck. But what
oh, yeah,
what started USL?
that was pretty much just my last like haymaker. I want to make something out of BMX because I miss doing it so much type thing. So it was um just wanted to make contests around things that I miss seeing. Like I miss seeing like the Garrett Reynolds Vital skate park videos. So I was like, okay, well, how can I literally create more of what I want to see, and have fun editing without needing to invest in all this camera gear, and also like make it profitable along the way. Um, and I think BMX, especially then, was at a point where not a lot of media companies were creating so much maybe unique media, so they were like willing to pay for like skate park edits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. It went really well. We dropped like 150 videos our first year. I'm really proud of a lot of those projects. Like we did Blow Up the Park, which 24 hours from a skate park video. It's such a like childlike concept, but it was like done on a professional level, in my opinion. So it was just kind of cool to see that. And then we did the fucking I don't know if you ever saw that rooftop game of bike on the skyscraper.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, like dude, I'm sorry, like I have to fucking pat my own back right now, but like that was so epic. Like
Yeah, that
fucking
was
Chad
rad.
Curley, Brock, and Matt on top of a skyscraper in downtown LA playing a flat ground. That's like every child's dream on steroids to see that. And I was just so stoked to be able to do that with the help of Grant and all the sponsors and stuff, man. It was amazing.
That was fire.
And just like someone
Like
like Chad Curley being down, like, yeah, I'm gonna drive 2.5 hours to play bike on a roof. I'm like, bro, Chad is like so like celebrity status, and like he's probably so selective of his time. So the fact that like cinema even got him out there for that, or Brock or Matt being from Boston, it was like, what's happening? This is insane,
it was
dude.
so dope. I didn't know you put out 150 videos. That's wild. That's that's an awful lot of work. Was it? Did it pay off?
I mean, mm, depends. I mean, not really. Like some of the contests I lost money on, like the house park contest we did had like a bigger prize purse on like simple session, and that was because I was just willing to lose money on it. Then Spain contest, no, not really. Some of them made, some of them lost, but it was just cool to be pulling it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So financially, maybe no. It could have though. Like I had the formula down by the end of it where I was like, oh, I can walk away with a few grand of content if I wanted to. Then there was merch and other brand integration type stuff. But at that point, I was like, fuck, the second it starts feeling like work and not like the super authentic experience from my end, I don't like doing it. You know what I mean? Like even when I was at a common crew, like I had all this merch left over in my garage, and I just sold sauce to give it away. I didn't feel comfortable selling it if I wasn't like
In it.
in it. Like I love
Yeah.
making money off BMX, but only if like
If you're in it.
I'm in it. And USL didn't feel that way towards the end. I was like, you know what? gave it one last shot. These companies definitely got their money's worth. I mean, we did like so much cool stuff, unique stuff that has replay value. And then I just gave it away at the end. So that was it.
What do you mean you gave it away?
I gave it to Brant Moore, and then he didn't do anything with it, but he has all the access to it right now. So if you want to pressure him to do more contests, he has all the tools right there. Um,
You heard it
so
here first, Brant. Get
yeah, I mean,
together.
yeah, I wanted to do something with it. Because he was saying he hated his job, not hated his job, but to me, I'm like, dude, that dude loves BMX so much. Let me just give him USL because he's such a fucking nerd about it. Like,
Yeah,
I
dude.
was like, I don't know, like, yeah, no, he just loves it, and he does it for like little to no exposure, really. He doesn't have like the most popping channel, but you can tell he puts his heart into it,
Yep.
and he deserves to have all that shit pop off because of how much he loves it strictly. So I was like, damn, dude, if this dude applied this passion to this already like functioning system, it could be so cool. You'd have like six contests a month, even, you know what I mean? Like some scooter companies have, but then it never happened. I don't know why it didn't happen, but it was cool. I still watch that shit though. It's dope.
It was the game of bike is fucking legendary. Like the skate park sessions were also legendary. I'm trying to remember if it was like games of bike or fucking yeah. There's games of bike at skate parks that were so fun to watch. I
Yeah.
yeah. I pretty much I remember watching all of that shit. It was a moment in BMX. You know, USL was huge. Everybody was talking about it. That's dope.
It was little kid content, you know what I mean? But it
Yeah,
was like well done little kid content and
yeah.
fucking so fun, dude.
I
And like
loved
me and
it.
Grant got pretty close too. Like I never even hung out with Grant before that. And then before you know it, we're like, well, we filmed Gary, I was at Gary V. We filmed Gary Young yesterday. Now we're crashing in a hotel room together to film Chad tomorrow. And at that point, me and Grant were like, this is like so cool, like filming legends all the time. It's insane, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
going back to film Matt Ray next week, and then Brock, and then Devin. It was just so cool.
it's so cool.
You
And
know,
Grant's a super nerd about all this shit too. I love it. Like the fact that he's still pushing full speed ahead, making a living just doing BMX videos is incredible. He's doing the fucking most. Like one of the
yeah,
hardest working people in BMX right now is Grant Casaluzo.
yeah. I wish he would do some type of USL thing, but it's hard to like you said, I guess send those emails and people get uncomfortable about stuff like that, and like it's your art and you have to somehow figure out a way to build a corporate structure around your art so you make income every month with it's just like weird, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I wish he would do something like that. He could pull it off.
the model was you talk to BMX companies and tell them here's what you'd get for this much money, and then it's a retainer, or like they would just be featured. Like what was the generally? You don't have to name names, but like what was the
Yeah.
model for that business?
Yeah, I didn't charge much. The model was pretty much, yeah, it was pay to be part of this contest. Um, and you get X amount of this and that. Um, and you'll be in this video. We'll do the whole polling system, the voting thing. And essentially the main thing that I think made it blow up so quick is that everybody was incentivized to share it a fuck ton because they wanted to get votes and stuff.
Yeah,
And then writers were kind of not obligated, but like pushed by their sponsors who paid to be in it. And in turn, writers are expected to blow it up. So before you know it, you have like six pros, all with 200,000 plus followers, essentially promoting this new outlet for free. Plus, the company's paying me to get them to promote it. You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it was this little system.
Synergistic, dog.
Yeah, it was cool. And then we were talking to, like, I was talking to the guys from that mushroom coffee brand for a minute. Like they were gonna start headlining a contest. So it was starting to get outside of the BMX stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it never got to that point. But it was still fun. Like it was, I think
coulda.
everybody,
Was it a
yeah, I think,
subscription or a one-time thing? If I'm, Kanode Frame Co. Do I have to pay you every month or just a one-time thing?
no, it was just per contest.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
It would have been smarter to do it per month, but um, people were complaining about banner ad subscriptions when I would talk to them. But and I didn't really want to hard negotiate and do a pitch to like these brand owners that like I knew, I just felt very
right.
uncomfortable to like push for that. So my fault, I probably should have pushed harder to make it more legit. We did one merch drop though, that was kind of cool. And it was a collab with Hobie Doan. We made like merch with one of the things he said in the video that people laughed at, and those sold a good bit.
What did he
So
say?
at the end of his blow up the streets contest, so 24 hours to film a skate video,
Yeah.
He does the banger and he yells like, "Where the fuck is my spliff kit?" Like ready to like smoke and celebrate. So we just
Nice.
made a print on demand hoodie and shirt that says like, "Where the fuck is my spliff kit?" And whatever sold, split it after cost, like half for me, half for Hobie. And it was a cool little drop, We sold like maybe 30, 40 of them, nothing crazy, but it was just dope to be able just to like just
Take
pull that
something from a
little,
video, put it on a t-shirt and sell it. That's dope.
yeah, but it's still being like a cool street video at the same time. So,
Yeah. I love that. Here's
you
a
know,
weird detail that I want to know, but like when you're interacting with the BMX companies, is it all over email or phone call, text? If somebody's out there and they want to fucking hit up a BMX company for a jam or whatever the fuck they want to do, like how would you recommend doing it? Email.
yeah, email. It's get the most leverage out of that. The first time I wanted to do a trip though, I did meet with Moeller in person, him and his partner Melissa, um, at a Mexican restaurant, and they kind of grilled me on just to see if I could really make this thing happen, this BMX trip. But other than that, it was always just over email.
Which trip? So,
SF it.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I hit him up with that idea, and then they were like, Mueller was like making fun of me. He's like, "So you wear glasses and you put your lenses on the camera lens? Like, how much glass are you looking through, dude?" Or whatever. Like he's like some old boomer fucking shit.
That's a dad joke, dude.
Yeah, it was just funny, but he was down. But other than that, every negotiation or anything was really just over the phone or maybe on email too. And then yeah,
Dope. Good for you. I
yeah, it
feel
was
like
dope.
that skill just fucking that skill or whatever the lacking the fear of reaching out to people is that'll fucking carry you through the rest of your life. No sweat. Like I mean, establishing a connection with like somebody that you're doing a marketing thing for now. Like, are you cold calling somebody or
I don't really do stuff for other people. It's kind of just our own stuff now. Sometimes you have to negotiate with China, but that's a little different because there's like translators and language barriers involved. Um, I had to negotiate with India the other day, and I kind of use a lot of those same tactics where it's kind of like, oh, so you agree that you want this outcome? Oh, great. So to get to this outcome, you need to agree with me. Pretty much type, but like more psychological than that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But for what I do, mostly it's clicking buttons. It's not really the psychological stuff happens on the ad to the customer. It's not me talking to a brand or something.
got you.
Yeah.
All right, dope. Rest in peace, USL. Unless Brant Moore brings it back from the dead, everybody go blow up Brant's Instagram and say, "What's up with USL,
Do it.
dog?"
Do it.
Hi,
I'll give
Brant.
$50. I'll give $50 to one random comment on Brandt's latest post telling him that
Let's
tags
go.
USL. We'll do it.
Yeah.
$50.
When this comes out, what day is it? I don't know. Next Monday. It's the 10th. So whatever, 11th, 12th, 15th. Monday the 15th. Go blow Brant's Instagram up. If you made it this far
Nice.
in the interview, dude, that's dope.
Yeah.
Interview conversation. I don't know, bro. I talked about your proudest shit. What's the scariest thing you've done on a bike and off the bike?
Scary thing I've done is probably go to Florida and leave everything behind.
That's scary, dude. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. I left the day after the last USL contest. Like, okay, later, dudes. Like I saw everybody there. Like I'm out.
I'm
Uh,
off to my new life.
yeah. And then scariest thing I ever did, I didn't even land it, but like at the old school we used to ride in Mesa View, those like yellow ledges, like on
Yeah.
the big ledge there. For like an Instagram slam we did, I tried like to fast plant three it. And pretty tall. It's fucking, you know, chest. Um, trying to fast plant three off and just kept eating shit, rolling my ankle, terrifying. To the point where I remember just blacking out in the air and like all technique and confidence just evaporated. I'm
Just gone.
hoping at this point, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
never landed it. It was just I didn't understand just how much impact was happening and how to fucking adjust for it. So
Yep.
yeah, I haven't ridden off something that high since then, pretty much.
It's a tough trick.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. And then who was your idol growing up and why? BMX wise.
Mike Mastroni.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the homie Mike. He just best videos. Best fisheye work still today. Like I
Yeah.
think he has the best fisheye work. So fucking close up and low, and I'm like, I want to do that with $3,000 worth of glass. Um, so yeah, him. And in terms of like business side of BMX, I would say probably Robbo. I think it was pretty cool how big he grew Colt with how little he had, especially leaving a big company like Fit. And because I've met with Robbo and like really picked his brain about it and how he did it, and he had a lot of sound advice and stuff. It's like, damn, like Colt would not have been what it is today without without his execution. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The team was amazing, but he he was he's the first like brand owner I ever really knew, you know.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool just to learn from him and stuff too.
A couple of goats right there in different
Yeah.
avenues. Mastroni and Robbie Morales.
Yep.
Okay. Um, favorite BMX DVD, full length, whatever at this point. What's of all time, not your own?
Oh, that's all I watched though. I'm just kidding. No. Um,
The
no, I think
only
Deadline,
one
dude.
I've seen.
Yeah, honestly, since that shit dropped, like,
It's just on repeat. It's my phone
no,
background. It just goes on forever.
I thought about like just having it, but what's it called? No, probably Deadline, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, my brother's into writing now, and I showed him Garrett's Deadline part literally 2 nights ago. Bro, that it gives me chills, man. I feel like a fucking kid again. Like, I don't know if you remember it, but like when you're like the second Pink Floyd song is ending and it's all night footage, and he's doing 180 bar crooks, Indian switch bar, and like you have like all these plane crashing sound effects that
Yep.
Pink Floyd sampled. You're just like, and I'm like watching my brother, like, and it keeps getting crazier. I felt like one of those dads that like beats their wife when their Super Bowl team loses, and they're just like super fucking into it. I was like, oh, this is crazy, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, a video hasn't hit like that. Like that could come out today and still be the Nora Cup
Fuck
video.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's just
incredible.
on.
I can like hear the airplane noises that you're talking about right now. Like,
And he's like
yep.
full cab double barring things and just
Yep.
like,
And the actual ender was the 360 tooth down the rail, right?
yeah,
That was like the
yeah,
post banger thing that came in. I loved it,
yeah,
man.
yeah. The two G turn thing, and that was just like no one was doing that. You
Yeah.
know, even on a flat ledge, you wouldn't really see that.
Yeah.
And he got so I just watched it. It's so fresh in my head. But he got so high up on that, and I was there for the premiere too. I mean, that whole crew was like, okay, we're gonna night film now. We're gonna do this shit, and like that really influenced us and how we did our shit, like moving forward. You know?
Yeah, it's just such a I don't know, cultural impact or the impact that you have when you like instead of just putting out everybody's web videos to get their sponsors happy, like, no, let's stick together and then put out something really dope. Is like I don't know if that'll ever go away. There's something special about working on something with multiple people and putting it out. And not to mention every single Garrett clip is timeless. Everybody. Fucking
Yeah,
A, man. And Tony Ennis killed it with the songs and the editing. Pretty
dude,
bomb.
insane, insane. Like I would challenge anybody to find another edit that makes them feel that type of way, bro. It's like,
Yeah, for real. Mediocre at best. Just kidding.
yeah, what's that?
Uh,
I don't watch Common Crew.
okay, BMX DVDs. Let's see. I'm trying to remember some of the throwbacks because it just devolved to Who's Your Mount Rushmore. We'll get there, but
Yeah,
I want to lead up to it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I don't mind,
If
dude.
you could make it so like no this I'm just making this up right now, but like pick a trick that if you could wave a magic wand and nobody would ever do it again, what trick would it be?
Um, I don't like. Hmm. See, some come to mind, but then you think of like the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is the bar crank flip shit. Like at the same time, to me, it just doesn't look steezy, you know, no matter how good you are at it.
Yeah,
It just looks like I don't know,
so
like
much going on. I just knocked
suicide by
shit off my
blender,
desk.
what it looks like.
Yeah,
But then some people do it good. Like some people can nose bonk into it, you know.
yeah,
Um, hmm, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like nose manuals to manual. I think that looks like I
yeah.
don't know, too
That's
much.
real.
I don't like that. Like a long nose and to go manual, it's like I'd rather see a bar out and then like some new link start. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much it. I don't know.
I would say ETs. I'm cool without ETs. Some people make it look good, and I'm a hypocrite because I'm filming Mata doing ETs the other day. But it's that's something where it's like, is that even a trick, dude? It
I can't
is.
do that.
I've
I
tried and I
can't.
can barely fucking do it. But like,
Yeah,
I'm just pedaling forward. It's fine. And then
yeah,
what else was I thinking about? Oh, like feeble to just pop up. I think that's established. That's not even a trick. But
yeah. I
yeah,
think that's more like yeah, like you're. in like eighth grade or something
Yeah,
type
I
shit.
had to learn that
Um,
because I was so stoked at the skate park and Chadwick was there filming a fucking Vital video or something, and I was like, "Film this. I'll do a feeble hop up and then 360 off the ledge." And he was like, "That's not a trick." I was like, "What?
yeah,
What do you mean?"
it's crazy that it's not a trick. Like we all know what the non-tricks are. Like a Smith to pegs isn't a trick, but it's
Correct.
like that's something else that you're probably like I see my brother, not really anymore, but when he first got into riding, he was like, watch this feeble to pegs or something like that. And I was like, no, 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 like he
Yeah.
was like, but why? I'm like, I don't know, just no,
Because
bro.
them's the rules, brother.
Yeah, yeah, which is so hypocritical based on the whole rest of this fucking interview. But
Them's the
it's just
rules, man.
yeah. What
If
do
you
you
do
think?
it,
Why is that? Is it because like there's a constant point of contact the whole time? Like what makes like a feeble to pegs or a feeble hop up? Like what is it?
it's
Because they all kind of
the
break the same rule.
yeah. It's like there's got to how do you put that into words? I would like my first thing is like it's too easy. There's not enough going on. Like you're just dropping your tire down to hit the peg. So it's like doesn't it doesn't look flowy, but I don't know. I think it's like an aesthetic thing. Like it,
Hmm.
I don't know. Stick to something, a trick and then a trick. I don't know. Feeble and then hopping up onto a ledge and just doing both tires. Just like eh, I don't know. Maybe that's an interesting question. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. Because to me, I'm like, damn, what if it was like a kinker, feeble hop up or
Yeah,
something?
if you
That's what's like,
feeble on flat and then hop into a down, that
yeah,
seems that's okay. But you better
right?
not do it before, you know. But even
Yeah.
then, like if I'd rather see a Smith to pop in versus a feeble to pop in. And the other thing, Nick Bonnell the other day, there was a setup where it's like a ledge and then drop to another ledge, and I forget what he was trying, dude. Fucking, but I was like, dude, just feeble the first one and then drop nose on the second one. And he was like, I don't do feeble to nose manuals. And I was like, word, okay. I take feeble to nose. That's a fine trick to me,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
it's
ice
easy
snow
as
is way
fuck.
cooler, but
Yeah, ice nose is way cooler and also harder to make look good. Some of the like first like cool tricks I did was on this ledge. I did feeble to hop up, hang five, and I thought that was the shit. I was like, that's so cool. I'm grinding and then hang fiving. But really, in
yeah.
practicality, it's like pretty fucking easy. I like easy tricks that look cool enough to make you feel like I'm doing something good here. You know?
Yeah. I love all the Wally shit. That's all I've been doing is like this walling
Fuck yeah,
270, Wally 180s. It's like
yeah.
I love that stuff, dude. It's so fun.
Little jibbies.
Yeah. Yep, yep.
Uh, biggest beef throughout the years
I
that
don't
you've
know.
had?
Uh I don't know. I couldn't tell you, man.
Yeah.
Some stupid BMX shit, maybe. I don't know. There's probably some. I don't have the best memory. There's probably I don't know. I can't tell you. Me and Ethan got in a fight when we were really young. We went out night filming and he's trying, I think it might have been an ice nose on the ledge, but the ledge was like going under this like roof thing. So like when you're nosing, it's like kind of dangerous to flip over because your head's close to the roof. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he like flips over. Well, first he says like, "Oh, do you think I'll be good?" I'm like, "Yeah, like I think you'll be good. Like it looks like it's good." And he was doing some ice like nose, like getting into it. Then he flips over and he hits his head, you know. And then he like, I think he like got pissed at me because I told him he'd be good, which I honestly thought he would be good. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, bro. And then like we kind of had beef for a few months, and then
Months.
yeah, it was hilarious. But that was like back when he had hair. He was like on a Sunday, like it's just so long ago. We were like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it was funny because like we were night filming, and then like he just like dipped out, and then okay,
Fuck
got
you,
out of the
dude.
way.
You said I would be okay.
Yeah, which I don't know. Maybe I should have gauged it better. I mean, I don't know. I don't really remember the situation. I just know like he hit his head and it was my fault, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know. But that was
Speaking of hitting
it.
your head, have you ever? What's your worst BMX injury?
Um, when it broke my heart, I'm just kidding. I did on that same ledge I half cad for that little vital photo. I did like a 180 Smith on it and just like landed weird and got a hairline fracture on my ankle. Like
Oof,
180 Smith, all weight to my ankle and like right at the start of summer. So didn't go out all summer and yeah, that was
bummer.
pretty much it though. Yeah.
That's. I
Um,
mean, you got off easy. A lot of people have way worse, so that's nice.
yeah, I've never really did much though. Like like risk
It's
wise,
because you got the
but
big brain, Doug. It takes a dummy to get out there and be like, yeah, I could do this, and then just send it. Who was saying that? I was talking to Fu. That's how you say
oh,
his name,
that
right? At Epic.
sounds exactly what he would say.
Yeah. He's like, you got to be stupid and push the stupid to do it. He's fucking amazing. It's the
Yeah,
coolest
yeah,
conversation. She's like young and retarded.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's go. Dude.
Bro, on
And
that
that's
on
when you
that
learn
S
tricks.
on that SF it trip, the whole drive back, we just talked in Foo's voice, like me, Ethan, like I tell Max, whatever, like this whole thing, like we still say that shit, all the way back home,
Man, I'm so
7
stoked that
hours.
I've gotten to meet and hang out with that guy. He's the best. As just kicking it at the shop when I was out there last was a great time.
Yeah, I saw him not too long ago. Yeah, when I was
Uh,
out.
I'm trying to think of anything else to ask you before Mount Rushmore, dude. Fuck it,
But
that's it. It's Mount Rushmore time. We got to wrap this shit up.
yeah, let's do it. How long has it been? Like 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What is it? Top
Oh,
four?
wait. I remembered.
Too late.
Any advice for young, hungry BMX kids out there?
Like a filmer or like a? What do you mean?
Young, hungry BMX kids generally. Yeah.
Really?
I'm a
Uh,
14-year-old. I'm looking up to Francis Castro of the Common Crew. Like, man, what do I got to do to be like Francis or just make it in BMX? What do I got to do?
yeah. I would say just look at like what's working for other people. Like what's working the best. Like it depends what you want, right? Like if you want to just make good videos and copy the camera setup and filming technique. You know, if you want to blow up, look at people that are blowing up and maybe copy and borrow from their content models. But really, if you're just getting started as a filmer, you just really want to use your friends as much as possible. Like the fact that they want to be filmed and get really good at filming and like establish your own style of what it looks like. You know what I mean? So the more people you could film, the better because it's a really cool feeling when like you can tell like, oh, that's a Bobby Kanode video or that's a Mastroni video, and they all kind of have this certain essence to them. I think it's really good to like leverage your friendships and make it a win-win for everybody. I think there's a lot of room for even nowadays, like just having a Instagram reel like creator. Like I don't know if you know that guy 400 or Hana 400 or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Didn't really post anymore. He's like a Long Beach kid. He made like he used to be like Brock's Instagram reel filmer or something. And this motherfucker could film a reel, okay, like really good, like zoom on the skateboard, the whole thing. And you can tell it was like a one of his Instagram videos. And I feel like that could be the next wave, like just being really good at making Instagram edits and know how to make them pop off and stuff like that is something a company would pay for nowadays. And you'll probably get more money and it'd be a lot less stress than having a night film for 4 months to
Yeah,
fucking post
for
video.
real.
Yeah.
That's
So I
pretty
would do
solid
that.
advice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Good artist copy, great artist steal. Is that the
Yeah.
phrase? I think that's the phrase. Okay, that's the last one. Here, Francis Castro. Who's your BMX Mount Rushmore?
Okay. If we're talking BMX riders, Garrett Reynolds for obvious reasons. Um, huh. Trying to think. Uh, like Dave Crone a lot too.
Yeah, he's sick.
Dave Crone's fucking
Especially
awesome.
lately too. He's resurging on socials and just saw a cone clip of his the other day. I was like, all right, okay, Dave.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say Garrett, Dave Crone, um, see Chad Curley. I like how he's blending the influencer shit with the core stuff, and he's just like so him, authentically himself. And then oh,
He's
we got
fucking
one left.
hilarious, dude. I had no idea, but I just got to be around him at that Ringcon contest, and he's fucking hilarious. I was just like
Yeah.
10 feet away and hearing him crack jokes, and I was just like, man, this guy's the shit. I like Chad
Oh,
Curley.
it's a crime that he does not have like a properly produced YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
someone gotta hit up Chad and be like, let's do this shit because he's like so perfect for it. Um, and the last one, I'm just gonna say Mike Mastroni, just because
let's
put me in
go.
my place for life, bro. And he's pretty good at writing, but like psychologically, he's in my head rent free for the rest of my life. So yeah,
That's
fucking
awesome.
Mike too for life. Yeah.
Fucking my Mastroni, just so you know, is Fudger. I was at like OG Nora Cup in 2008 or something, and they had legends like presenting awards, and I tweeted get these old fucks off the stage. Why don't we get somebody relevant like Nigel upstage on something? And then Fudger replied either later that night or the next day, and shut up, you, what did he say? Shut up, you dumb fuck, or something along those lines. And it just fucking, I was like, holy shit, he responded. Like Ride BMX magazine tweeted that, and I was just like, oh. And so that's when I
That's
like
so
zipped
funny.
it online. No more talking shit. And then I remember I was at Interbike. I had just gotten on GT. I'm walking around a little bit with my chin up. You know, I'm on GT. I'm getting shown around by GT bikes. Like, here's I da da da. And I walked past the I Got Work crew from Arizona, Chadwick and them, who I idolized. And Chadwick
Mhm.
screams, "Get over yourself!" And I was just like, you know, like, I was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck, dude."
yeah,
Yeah. So I got over myself real quick, and then you kind of go full circle and come back. You gotta love yourself. But those are my
yeah,
mastronis. So
yeah. Shame isn't always bad, man.
no, it's a good healthy dose of it. Never
Yeah,
hurt
yeah,
nobody.
yeah.
Anything else you want to say on the record?
Uh, Pretty much it. Common Crew best BMX crew of all time. Uh,
Second best.
sure, man. Not because of me, just because of like I don't know reasons I said. I fucking just that was awesome. Just thank you for having me on. Thank you to all my buddies at the time for helping me make those memories. That was fucking awesome. Um, and yeah, thanks BMX for everything for teaching me all my skills pretty much.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, thanks to my wife too. I love my wife so much.
Shout out, wifey. How long have you
Yeah.
guys been together?
Married like 3 months together, almost 11 years.
Damn, 11 years is forever. Good for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks, brother.
All right, man. We'll stop recording now. Okay, nerds. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening, etc., etc. And yeah, feel free to, if you enjoyed it, feel free to reach out on Instagram and let's talk. I like really love when you guys hit me up and give me feedback or tell me who to talk to or whatever, dog. But yeah, thanks for making it all the way to the end. Have a good day.